So I'm pretty sure you've heard of the new KFC console that's been going around. And now, apparently, it's actually like a good console. Like it actually can play games.
They put a console together. I'd be surprised if they didn't.
It's got a terabyte in there, and
oh wow, so it's got more space than a PS5.
Play games at 4K. Like
what?
Yes, I know. It's like
true 4K or upres 4K.
I don't know. 4K was all I saw.
That's insane. There's also a compartment where you can keep your meat warm.
That's the key feature.
You know,
you
can put meat in your console. That's weird.
You know,
that's weird.
We may have to buy that over the PS5.
No.
These scalping prices keep going up.
No, absolutely. I'm absolutely not getting a KFC
5 years from
console.
the future, when games are being made not for the PS5 or the Xbox Series X or whatever stupid name that is, but it's the KFC console.
It's called KFC console, and then it's KF, and then the C in console are all red, and then console is white. Is that right? That's the branding of it?
It looked like, I mean, that's a KFC brand right there.
I love this year, man. Well, I don't, but I love I love
this year.
The weird shit that's happening where you're like, all right, yeah, sure, fuck it. Like, I love that shit.
Mm-hmm. I never expected there to be news of any console from any company, especially KFC.
Wait, you didn't want the Soulja Boy console?
I did not.
From last year or whenever the fuck that...
This is way cooler than the Soulja Boy console. Yeah, this actually has practical use outside of being from a dumb rapper.
Oh my god, KFC made a console. Why? Why did they... Dude, are the controllers shaped like chicken breasts or something?
Totally fucking not, but let's find out. KFC console remote controller. Probably wired. Something like that.
I would believe it.
Oh god. Holy god. Wait, is it Xbox? No, they have there's an Xbox Series X controller with KFC brand on it, but I don't know about the controller.
KFC console. KFC console.
I don't think they've announced it.
Have they not shown it off yet?
I don't think they've shown it yet.
When is it coming out?
I don't know. When is it coming out? 2021.
Price, pre-order, specs, features, gaming. Okay, yeah, it doesn't look like they've shown anything. All right.
240 FPS? Okay.
What?
Yeah, it will, if this is from Forbes, it will have beefy enough specs and is capable of running at games at 4K, 240 FPS, something you won't find often on the PS5 or Xbox Series X.
What?
Yes.
I don't believe any of this.
Dude, it says it. I don't know what to tell you.
This is not real.
This is from Forbes. You can go to Eric Kane and tell him, are you bullshitting us right now?
This is some...
That's cool. That's so cool.
This is insanity.
Okay, if it's like well priced, like come on.
There's no way. It's going to be 600.
10 years from now.
It's probably going to be 600.
It probably is, but 10 years from now, imagine that. You're collecting consoles, you're a mature gamer, and you're like, here's my...
mature gamer.
Yeah, you're a mature gamer. And I got my KFC console here. It was a limited time special game, and it heats my chicken.
It eats my chicken?
I'm telling you, man. People are going to buy it.
Someone will buy it. That's for sure. Somebody will buy it.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into this show. All right. What's poppin', players? Welcome back to the Two Penny Gamecast, episode 23. I am your host, Tavin Bothel, here with my good friend and co-host, Connor Elliott. Say hi to the people, Connor.
Hey.
He did a little snapping. That was snapping he did right there. Basically, we come to you every week, Mondays, 8 a.m. on YouTube, SoundCloud, currently Spotify as well. Mm-hmm. Didn't say it in the front of last episode, but I said it at the end.
I can believe you forgot to bring that up too.
We're on Spotify now. It's fantastic. We don't have all the episodes up there. We'll get them there eventually.
Uh-huh.
We're working on getting them on the Apples and the Googles. It takes time.
But Spotify
it takes time. Spotify, they basically just let anybody in now.
Yeah.
They're just like, yeah, sure, come on in. Apple, Google, they say, all right, well, you gotta check this out.
They're elitist pricks.
Yeah. So we're on that. Follow us. Give us the likes and shares and rating us and all that. Help us out on that end.
Please do.
Basically, the idea of this show is every week, me and Connor here come to you with two topics of the new news in the gaming industry. Our two topics, our two pennies, if you will, and give you our 2 cents on them. However, this week, all the major news outlets they shut down for Christmas. They said, hey, we're gonna go take a break and go home. So instead, we're going to do a quickly thrown together and planned predictions episode for next year.
You know, we've done special episodes like this for like a month now. I realize we've done very
a lot of special stuff. A lot of special stuff.
I'm closing of the year. What are you going to do?
We did a predictions episode for the Game Awards, and we gamified it. We won't be doing that this week because we're probably just wrong across the board.
Yeah.
But we're going to have some fun. We're going to be talking about some games. We're going to be talking about our predictions for next year, games we are most anticipated for, games we believe will miss their release dates and be pushed into 2022 and beyond. And then at the end, we'll still talk about what we've been playing and have some fun there. So, Connor, if you are ready.
I am always ready.
Let's go ahead and start with these predictions.
Okay. Well, you know... Here, I guess we're going to do a thing where we each take turns.
Probably.
Yeah. So my first prediction is the most hopeful prediction.
Oh.
I think you know what it's going to be. I'm predicting Elden Ring for 2021 because I want Elden Ring. I really, really want it. Now, I don't want them to rush games. You know, we've talked on this show a lot about how rushing games is a stupid idea. So it's probably a good thing they haven't shown us anything because they're taking their time. They're making sure they're not going to, jump the gun.
Sure.
But...
working with that J.R.R. Martin.
Yes, J.R.R. Martin. J.R.R. Martin?
No,
J.R.
Yeah, that's his name, Railroad Martin.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah. I forgot his name for a second. But, Sekiro came out in 2018, and...
2021 seems all right. When did Bloodborne come out? 2015?
2015, yeah.
Okay, so 3 years.
Miyazaki is also known for working on multiple games at the same time. Dark Souls 3 came out in 2016, a year after Bloodborne came out, and...
So we're due.
I think we're due, but it is the most...
No, Sekiro came out in 2019.
2019?
Yeah.
It did come out in 2019, yeah.
I could still see it in 2021.
Yeah. Yeah, it did come out in 2019. Okay, yeah.
I can still see it.
But, yeah, it's been around the time it takes to make these games.
Yeah.
That being said, though, there is still, chances it's not going to come out this year because, from what Phil Spencer has said when he saw the game at play, it's the most ambitious game they've done yet, so it could take longer than any other game they've done before. But that's my first prediction.
They're going to put actual dialogue in the game.
Actual?
Can you imagine actual dialogue?
They had actual dialogue.
An actual story.
There's an actual story. I'm not going to...
No, there's lore. There's no story.
There's lore that comes together to form a story. It's just not given to you.
Whatever. Anyways, no. That's a reasonable prediction. I could see that happening.
I figured you'd shoot it down, to be honest.
No, they're actually pretty... From my memory, they're pretty quick with turnarounds from announcements to reveals to releasing. Now, granted, they did announce this 2 years ago, a year ago,
yeah,
2 years ago,
2
something
years,
like that.
Definitely 2 years. It was at an E3, and there wasn't an E3 this year.
Yeah. So I could see it. I could see it both ways. It could come out next year, and then it could just totally miss next year and be gone for a little while.
They haven't announced it for any release date yet, so I figured.
Yeah, but didn't they announce Sekiro and then a year later it was out?
They did, and they just showed a small little teaser trailer.
Yeah, and I want to say something similar happened with Bloodborne and even Dark Souls.
It did
3.
It did. Yeah, they usually once they show gameplay. If they show gameplay this year, it's coming out this year. It's the model that
that's kind of what they're on. So yeah, I can see that. My first prediction, this one. I don't really have any faith in it all. And I'm going to say Metal Gear Solid 1 remake is real. Mm-hmm. There's all these rumors, Connor. We've had rumors for a while about it. They put out the first 2 games on GOG. And, I think it's time. It's been talked about for years. So many fan remakes have been killed. And it's just time. It's time. So I'm predicting MGS1 remake, in the Fox engine. And it's going to be like a Resident Evil 2 remake style remake where it's structurally and narratively it's all pretty much the same, but gameplay has been shifted dramatically. So I'm expecting a third person over the shoulder, basically just MGS5, but on Shadow Moses Island.
Yeah. It's been, Konami is always the people bring up.
It's a problem.
Discussing whether this is going to come about.
It's a problem.
Yeah. If they weren't in the picture, I'd be pretty confident that was going to happen. I mean, we would have had that fan creation already out by now that got shut down by Konami.
Well, and then there was that MGS3 remake with an asterisk where they basically remade all of the cutscenes in the Fox engine, and then just made it a pachinko machine. So it's God, what a wasted potential.
Did you ever watch those cutscenes? Were they ever released?
I've seen some of them.
They look good.
Yeah, they look great.
I've never it looks.
They did that. I mean, they're a little stiff because it's the same animations.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But they look beautiful.
Yeah,
you know,
just a little cock tease for you because
it's
that game.
It's so painful to see because it's so beautiful and it's just like fucking Christ, man, why?
Yeah. Now, Konami would be handling it, obviously. So,
yes.
You know, they've been inactive on the gaming scene for a while. You know, they did.
Yeah.
Ever since MGS
Survive.
Survival. Yeah.
Survive was the last thing they put out.
I was going to say 5, but
3 years ago.
Completely, everyone's forgotten about that game. Thank
yeah,
God.
rightfully so.
Yeah.
Rightfully so. Fuck that game.
Yeah,
Fuck Konami.
It's up to their whims, but it would be about time for that to happen.
God, it's gonna hurt. Can you? I just want to hear. I want to hear David Hayter just jump into that role one more time. I want new voice lines.
He likes that role.
A new recording. They've already remade it once with Twin Snakes on the GameCube. Sort of like a mixed reviews to it, but I think people in hindsight appreciate it for what it is. And I just think we just need it for Metal Gear. Metal Gear needs it.
Metal Gear's seemingly dead now, but that could revive it in a way.
Understandably so. Probably should have died a long time ago, honestly. But
hey, it may come out this year. Maybe.
I don't know about coming out, but it'll show up. I think it'll show up. You know?
Let's hope.
An announcement, reveal trailer, something. Who knows? It might get canceled. Who knows?
Yeah, I guess we kind of have to hear initial
might get turned into a pachinko machine.
Oh, that'd be the ultimate death.
In which case, I'm gonna be very upset.
That's it for Metal Gear. You know, after that point, done.
And then what do we do with the whole Kojima thing? Do we? You know, does he say, "Hey, no, this is cool"? Oh, I'll also say it's not a Blue Point game.
Oh no,
Blue Point won't be making it. It'll be in-house, some other dev team, something else. It won't be Blue Point.
Yeah, I don't think Blue Point's coming out for a game for a while now.
Oh, it'll be a while.
Yeah.
It'll be a while.
When did the Shadow of the Colossus remake come out?
2017?
Really? Okay.
I want to say.
So 3 years.
Let me look it up. So, Connor, go ahead, jump into your second prediction while I look that up.
This is one that you'd probably be a little bit hopeful for. Mine are, by the way, entirely based around video games. Just thought I should bring that out.
I've got some industry predictions coming out. Yeah, it was 2017 that Shadow of the Colossus
2017? Okay, nice. Well, my second prediction is for Star Wars Battlefront 3. You know?
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Why didn't I think about this?
Star Wars Battlefront 2 is kind of
an easy
dying
grab
now.
Battlefront 2 is dead on PC. Nobody plays it on PC. I think the PS4 and Xbox One servers are still kind of alive, I think. I haven't played in a long time.
I haven't played the PC version in a while either. I played it, pretty...
Oh, the PC version's dead.
Earlier this year.
I can't even get a game solo queuing.
It seemed like that all of a sudden happened really quickly because it wasn't a problem just a little while ago, and now all of a sudden...
the servers on PC were always kind of, minimal.
Okay, it's just not the optimal way to play Battlefront 3, Battlefront 2. For the people that had it.
So you're predicting Battlefront 3 announced and released?
Announced and released, yes.
I can see it.
Yeah. Definitely more hinging on the announcement because it has been a while. Like I said, it's dead.
Yeah.
It's need of an update. And
well, they clearly stopped updating Battlefront 2 to work on 3.
Yeah, they are. It's coming out.
I don't remember if they said it or if they just said, "Hey, this is just it." But it's so clearly that they're gonna squeeze one more Battlefront out before that EA deal expires.
Yeah.
And then we're clearly going to get a Jedi Fallen 2,
at some point.
Yeah, at some point. And then, who knows, we might get... I wonder if EA owns the KOTOR license.
I don't know if they do anymore.
Or if that... Well, even if it is... Even if Disney owns it through Star Wars, or through the Star Wars purchase, BioWare made it, EA owns BioWare, they have an exclusive deal. That is just money on the table that they've left there for 10 years. How did you fuck that up?
I don't know. Well, the Star Wars brand for a while was kind of outside of the movies was kind of iffy.
Maybe they didn't want it because it can't be canon. That would make sense to me because everything has to be canon now.
They've been very obsessed with that,
and they can't make Knights of the Old Republic canon.
But I
don't know why they can't, but I guess they can't.
They could just do a new game that's completely new. It's the same type of game as those old ones.
Imagine
have it work in.
Connor, instead of Anthem, we got a new BioWare RPG, but a new Star Wars BioWare RPG.
This is not going to be by BioWare.
Oh my god, I would freaking be...
Do you think really BioWare can take that chance right now, though?
Oh, no, we're not getting that. No, those chances are over. It should have been, instead of Anthem, we got that.
Yeah. Oh,
but the time for that is way gone. Way gone.
But I would like to see them have a good release because
Battlefront 3, back to Battlefront 3.
Yeah, Battlefront 3. I would like to see them have a good release because Battlefront 2 is
literally
horrible.
just make the way Battlefront 2 is now. Just slap a fresh coat of paint on it and call it 3
updates,
and and give it more updates, and everyone would be happy.
Yeah,
everyone would be happy.
You just.
I'm gonna be so frustrated because Battlefront 1 back in 2015 had heroes that aren't in Battlefront 2 right now. Mm-hmm. Like they had like Rogue One heroes that aren't in Battlefront 2, and there were some heroes that like were in Battlefront 1 but weren't at launch in Battlefront 2 but came to Battlefront 2 later. I think Lando is one of them. I can't remember exactly. No, it couldn't have been Lando because he was in the main game. Or he was in the campaign.
Oh, was he?
It was somebody.
Well, he may have been in the multiplayer after, even though he was in the campaign.
No,
he was in the
because the campaign was such an afterthought. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember who it was. I don't remember who it was.
It's kind of hard to keep up with all those characters.
It's really hard to keep up. Also, I wasn't paying that close of attention at the time because it was surrounded by that terrible, terrible launch. Uh-huh. But a successful Battlefront 3 launch is so easy.
It's not hard. It's just don't do microtransactions.
So easy. Just
do things
keep the microtransactions so minimal.
Yeah.
Literally, just Battlefront 2, new coat of paint, put it on the new consoles, have a campaign that matters. Mm-hmm. That's all we want.
Could they even throw out the campaign if they want to focus solely on the multiplayer to furbish that up?
No, I don't think after the controversy that having no campaign in the first game, and then having one in the second game, and then it being kind of bad, but just having one. Like, there's no way they don't. They're more likely to just put out another bad campaign than they are to make one without one.
I didn't even know if people care about the campaign. Do they?
No. We enjoy the idea of the character that is. I keep thinking Jyn Erso, but that's the Rogue One chick. What is the main character's name? If you would ask me any other day, I would know. Anyways, we like that. We like the idea of that character. We didn't think it was super well executed, but anyways, we're getting in the weeds.
Bad campaign. Yeah. Well, either way, terrible. Battlefront 3, it could be coming this year. I think it will be.
I think it will be too. I think that's a safe bet.
Yeah. But with EA, who knows?
Who knows?
Like they could be like, okay, we're going to work on this for a
while. If I were to guess Battlefront 3 this next year, and then Jedi Fallen Order 2 2022.
2022?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess it wasn't...
It's a Respawn game. It's different,
Yeah, it's not the same.
We had Star Wars Squadrons this year. I think that marks... Oh, I guess they skipped 2018. But other than that, it marks a Star Wars release every year. Which... It took them so long, they were just dragging their feet in the beginning of this deal. For them to just be putting one out every year since... I would personally appreciate that because it's about fucking time. And also, you have so many studios, EA. Why are you dragging your feet with these Star Wars games?
We'll make that next FIFA game.
Fuck off. Anyways, so let's jump to my second prediction. Spider-Man 2 announced at a PlayStation State of Play in E3's spot. I'm going to also add on here, E3 returns, but I don't. PlayStation obviously will not be rejoining E3. And I don't think Xbox will come. I think
they could follow suit behind PlayStation.
Also, probably be the last E3.
Mm-hmm. It's been going downhill for a while now.
Yeah, to no surprise to anyone. But especially because Bethesda is now owned by Xbox, there's no reason for Xbox to go to someone else to do E3.
They can have their own event at this point.
They could have their own event.
Nothing's holding them back.
Absolutely nothing is holding them back. So
Spider-Man,
EA's been out of E3 for years. PlayStation skipped the last year or two of E3. And I think Xbox will be like, yeah, we just don't see the point in coming back. Other than that, I think the usuals will show up. The Devolver Digitals, I think Square Enix will return. I think Ubisoft will return and all of that. But
probably in terrible form, like always.
Probably. Mm-hmm. Well, Ubisoft, Ubisoft can be a little hit or miss or boring or whatever, but
Spider-Man is going to be.
I fully think Spider-Man 2 will be announced there. I'm assuming at the E3 spot. I don't think we'll see it for 2 years after announcement, but I think it will be announced next year.
Okay, yeah, it definitely wouldn't come out. When did Spider-Man PS4 come out?
2018.
2018. I was trying to think of that or 2019, but okay.
No, 2018. 2018. Miles Morales this year. I'm expecting another 2.5 to 3 years until the next one.
Well, if I remember correctly, I did make a bet that it would be at the Game Awards this year, like a trailer reveal.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
So, you know what? I'm not...
Like 3 weeks after launch. New trailer. What? No.
I took a chance, and I guess you're kind of taking a chance here, too, because that's a pretty specific
prediction. But the difference is, this one isn't for points, Connor. So
points. No. So you don't care as much.
No. Well, there's no winners, there's no losers.
There's no stakes.
There's just fun ideas.
Yeah.
There's just fun ideas.
Hopeful ideas as well.
But it could be fun. They could even just call it Spider-Men, and you just passing the controller back and forth between Miles and Peter, going back and forth. I want to see how they respond, because after Spider-Man Miles Morales, I now like playing as Miles more than I like playing as Peter. Mm-hmm. So how do they respond to that in a gameplay scenario where I don't think you can have a game where you only play as Peter Parker Spider-Man. Like, I feel like narratively it only makes sense to have sections as Miles. So having those two play so differently isn't going to work, because Peter is just going to come off as so fucking bland after Miles.
Well, I mean, they have years to make it, so they can make some.
They could do a lot of things. They could do a lot of things, but and I'm very curious to see what they do.
Yeah, I could see that Miles Morales was just like a test as well, to see like, okay, we're playing around with new ideas.
Yeah,
let's see
what
how
can we get away with? I think they knocked it out of the park with Miles.
Yeah, so it really can just be developed further.
I will say they still haven't nailed the balance yet in terms of enemy types. They haven't nailed it yet. Like, they've gotten close, and the DLC they went too far. Miles, they pulled it back a little bit. But there's still sections in Miles where, like, fuck, man, this doesn't feel fair. Like,
right,
I'm just
regular grunts, and you're just
I'm just getting my shit pushed in.
Oh, you're the one being beaten up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Whereas in the main game, the 2018 game, it was like, oh man, this game is a fucking cakewalk. Like, I'm on hardest difficulty, and I'm just nailing these guys. Like, nobody has a chance.
No.
And then the DLC was too hard. Miles was closer to perfect, but just not quite there yet. Mm-hmm. Connor, number 3.
That balance. Number 3. Okay, so I'm gonna take a step back from it, because I told you earlier that I have some weird predictions. Very weird predictions. I'm gonna hold off on those and do the one that is probably the most hopeful one on this list.
A little tease for us.
A little tease, yeah. Well, the one that I'm predicting is Final Fantasy 16. I think from the way they announced everything so far, released.
Okay.
I think it's gonna be released this year. I know we did a little story about how they actually have a lot of that game done, like the story and everything like that, and everything's voice acted and such.
I do not believe them.
I believe them, which is why I'm taking a leap of faith and saying that because they announced that was happening and they showed us gameplay, by the end of the year it'll be coming out. I'm predicting late year release.
Probably.
And if it does come out in 2022, it's going
probably
to be
November,
early.
December-ish.
Yeah, I'm predicting somewhere around that. But I do think it'll come out. I think we've seen more than we have with some other games that have showed gameplay and haven't come out.
The problem is with this franchise and with Square Enix, they have the habit of showing a bunch way too early, and then when the game comes out, it's a different game.
They could do that, but I mean, I don't know.
It happened with Versus 13, which turned into 15. Kingdom Hearts 3, we saw gameplay for that like 6 years before it came out.
Yeah. Well, those were years ago, and I think now they've kind of come around. Like, okay, now we're going to announce games.
I mean,
we're going to show games when they're more close to being ready.
It does feel like they're starting to get it together with the releases of 7 Remake and what they've been doing with Resident Evil. But that's Capcom. God damn it, Tavin.
Capcom.
Okay, so I guess just what they've been doing with 7 Remake. Then it feels right. What else have they made this year? Hitman. No, because they separated from Square Enix. Tomb Raider, which they've been
Like a Dragon. Did
bundling.
They make Like a Dragon?
No, Yakuza is not a Square Enix game.
I actually, now that I'm thinking about it,
no, it's not. It can't be because it's a PlayStation usually exclusive until recently, which now it's not. Did I just launch? I think I just launched the game. Oh, it's Sega. That's what it is. So, what else has Square Enix done? Whatever, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Regardless of that, it feels like they are starting to get it together a little more, but who knows? I don't think 16 for next year.
I saw some recent gameplay, and it looked amazing. It looked polished. From what
Did they show gameplay outside of the PS5 thing?
That was the gameplay that was being
Wasn't that with like an asterisk? Like most of it was like cinematic-ish.
It could have been. But,
yeah, with moments where it's like, okay, that's clearly gameplay, but it's like obviously just a move, so they've completed an animation. Good for you.
Even regardless of even that, I'm predicting that it's going to come out this year. You know.
Okay.
I mean, hey, it's the time to be a Final Fantasy fan. I mean, 7 remake.
I mean, I agree.
Got announced, so
it is the time.
Yeah, Sephiroth and Smash.
How do you think 16 is gonna shape up in comparison to 7 remake and 15?
You know, it's gonna be completely different because it looks it's going back to the more fantasy elements, you know, or the traditional.
That's true.
Fantasy.
It's less techy.
It's less techy, yeah, which has honestly been an issue that I've had with a lot of Final Fantasy games today. But looking at Final Fantasy 16,
well, that's a symptom of having to live in the shadow of the original Final Fantasy 7.
Yes, that actually is, yeah. But seeing it kind of go back to a more medieval route, even though I am fearful it's going to go too far medieval and it's not going to have enough fantastical elements to it, like some of those older Final Fantasy games had, I think it's going to be a step in a different direction because, you know, we have had that techie stuff.
I think we talked about it. I think we talked about it when we went over the PlayStation event. But how do you feel in comparison, or how do you feel about the what appears to be a shift to a darker tone? More,
I don't mind that.
Much more bloody. People are dying.
Well, you know, Final Fantasy has always been very dark. It's always dealt with themes of war, genocide. Like in Final Fantasy VI. Spoiler. Is that fine? Yeah, pretty much. Everyone dies. The bad guy wins. Everyone's living in a post-apocalyptic setting.
Yeah, but it's like, is that dark though? Like, the tone is not dark.
That's
like,
the thing. It's
people die, but the tone isn't dark.
The subject matter has always been dark, but the tone never really has gone that dark. Besides seeing bad things
this
happen.
one looks dark.
Yeah, that's what I'm. So it is going to finally
like blood getting splashed on face.
Yes.
Like usually, if somebody dies, they die like off screen in an explosion that you don't see.
Well, you usually see them get cut down like in 12, but there's never any blood splatter. There's just like shocked faces of like, oh my god, he got killed.
Yeah. They don't show like the stabbing really or anything. So.
This one's going for a more realistic approach to that, to the whole themes of what seems to be like.
And those early Final Fantasy games, just the level of fidelity with the character models and how it looked, like it was just impossible not to give a cartoony feel.
No, it's sprites.
Yeah,
you know, you can't really do much with that. And
like even the first Metal Gear Solid looks like a cartoon, or feels like a cartoon in some parts of the game.
No one had defined faces.
No one had faces. There was no defined. Yeah, so I don't know.
I am positive towards that darker tone, though. I think it'll be a good direction to take.
I'm in that wait and see thing, but I wouldn't even consider myself a fan of Final Fantasy.
You play them.
I enjoy an occasional Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
So, mostly just 7. So my number 3, I'm gonna go something little out there, little less super unlikely to happen because I don't see why they would do this, but I'm going to predict that Xbox merges Xbox Live Gold and Game Pass together. And that there will be a price increase for it. Probably like $5 or something.
I'm not going to lie. I can see that happening. I can see that being just a smart move to bundle it all together.
Yeah, I just don't see... Because it's clear this generation, Xbox doesn't... They obviously care, but they don't... It's not their main focus to just sell as many consoles as possible anymore. Their main push is Game Pass now. So why have all these different things? I mean, yes, it's another revenue stream, but when your focus isn't on consoles, so why not just bundle it all together, have a nice little package for everybody, and then increase that revenue thing? People who are already signed up for Game Pass just get it, and then their price just goes up. If you don't have Game Pass, I don't know, maybe now you do, but now it's because like it's also just like. Instead of paying for 2, you're now just paying for 1. So like collectively, it's cheaper for each individual person, and it only gets more expensive for the people who were only subscribed to 1. So if I only had Gold, it gets a little more expensive. But now I have Game Pass. Or if I only had Game Pass, it gets a little more expensive. But now I can play online.
Yeah,
you know.
It seems like that would be a smart idea, but it's as you said earlier. Different revenue streams seems to be the main reason why they would keep those separate.
And then, of course, there's going to be a conversation about, but what if I only want one? I don't want Game Pass. First of all, you're an idiot. Second of all...
what if you only want Games Pass?
I don't want to play online. I just want Game Pass. I don't know, man. Like, cool. Like, but like...
Yeah. Well, they can still keep...
Now you get this, like, little bonus thing. Like...
They can still keep them separate, but have the option of... But
also, I feel like it would also allow them to focus on Game Pass as a platform now, because now they don't have this like other thing dragging them down and being like, okay, but what do we do with our Xbox Live Gold? Because then you retire games with Gold, And then you don't have to worry about creating deals with these different companies to get your game for free. Like, it's just Game Pass now.
Yeah. Well, that almost seems like it'd be more possible for them to just get rid of gold and not even have just everything on Game Pass.
I say merge instead of getting rid of gold because the whole purpose for paying for an online subscription is to keep servers running at a better rate. You saw this with until recently Nintendo's servers with the Wii U and the Wii, they were fucking god awful. Like, they were terrible. It would take 20 minutes to find a game in their most popular games, et cetera, et cetera. It was always just shit.
Yeah.
And now it's still not great, but it's better because there is a pool in which people are paying and that they can pull from and help that and create a more stable environment. So I still feel like Xbox needs that, especially because they're on PC now so much. However, they don't need to keep these two things separate. Like, because I have a sneaking suspicion Game Pass is well on its way to surpassing gold in terms of number of subscriptions and how much money it's pulling in. Especially because it's also on PC.
Yeah.
So, like, you're practically doubling your base with just including it on PC like they have. The more I talk about it, the more sense it makes.
They could really
the only thing that keeps me from it is they have two revenue streams of nearly equal pricing,
and no one has asked for those to be merged either. The market doesn't seem to be asking for it.
There's been rumblings,
but it seems like most people are content with either having Games Pass and Xbox Gold or just one or the other.
Yeah.
Now it does seem like,
but it would just create such a push for Game Pass. And that's what they want. They want to push Game Pass. Yeah. And it would just create such a you have to have Game Pass now, mentality that I just don't see why they wouldn't do it.
Now, I just forgot for a second. Did you say there was going to be a price hike with the combining of the two?
Yeah, probably around $5, maybe probably just $5.
Yeah, that would make sense. I would be careful.
It is, I believe it's 10 on console or on PC right now and 15 on console, but it might be 20 on console and 15 on PC. Something like that. There's like a difference. PC's a little cheaper because there's not as much games on PC Game Pass right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would expect like a $5. I would expect like a $5 to $10 hike.
As long as it's not too much, I could see that being a more enticing reason to combine.
It's got to be 15 on console because there's no way they could justify $30 a month.
No, they could not.
No, that's too much. So, but you see where I'm coming from.
Yeah, no, I do. Yeah, that could be a definite thing that they unveil maybe during their
or maybe
own ceremony.
Maybe they reveal a more dynamic pricing that you can do. Like, because I believe right now you can only buy Game Pass in 1 month increments. You might be able to do like a 3-month thing.
So you can see them as possibly being merged and then having different payment plans.
Yeah, so now you could do a year of Game Pass for $80.
Yeah,
or $100. Or something like that. So instead of having the 60 for gold and then the 15 a month for Game Pass, let's combine the two and then have different plans that people can sign up to.
Right.
Connor, number 4.
Number 4. So, weird ones. Do you ever remember that game? You may not even have heard of it in the first place.
Not.
Called Scorn.
No, I have heard of it. I just don't know what it is.
It's a game that was unveiled a while ago. It has a really weird style to it. Everything, it's all centered around flesh. So, the guns that you get, the weapons you get, work your way into your flesh.
That sounds gross.
It looks disgusting, but it looks really cool. But no one knows what the game's about. We've seen snippets of gameplay for years now, and we do not get a release date. And
I'm looking at images. This is gross.
Very gross.
Doom? Is this just Doom?
Everyone's like, is it Doom? Is it like Doom? It's more disgusting than Doom.
It looks like Doom.
It looks like Doom. Now it's. The game itself is not fast-paced. It's more of like honestly, the shooting kind of resembles Metro. You move around, you're a lot slower, You're having to check corners, the monsters are tougher.
It looks like Doom.
Few of them.
Hey guys, you should probably just make your game be Doom.
But it looked so original, and it caught people's attention when it was first revealed. And like I said, we've heard nothing of it.
Dude, this is nasty.
Nasty as all hell. Like I said,
this is gonna make people
You
vomit.
have devices that fit into your arm. They,
what the fuck is that? What the fuck is this? I'm looking at images on Google right now. This is the most disgusting, some of the most weird imagery I've ever seen in my life.
It looks so cool, though. It looks so cool. And the sound effects are really, slimy and gross. like it's fitting. You can feel it. You can hear it fitting into your skin. It looks like an interesting game, and I think it's about time we finally have seen it. You know, it's never had a hard release date. They haven't really done any updates in a while. It honestly could be canceled for all I know, but
just quietly went away.
Like, oh, it's one of those games that's quietly taken off the whatever plans they had. It's not going to be released. But
upcoming first-person shooter horror game developed software for Microsoft Windows and Xbox Series X. Ebb Software. Who is Ebb Software?
I don't know. See, that's the other thing is that it's not like it's a big game developer, so it really could have just gone by the wayside.
In 2013. Claim their idea of being thrown into the world of blah, 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 blah. They want unsettling environment to be a character in itself.
It doesn't seem like it was that demanding.
Looks like this would be their
technology.
First major game.
Would it be?
It looks
first AAA game or major game?
Major, because they were founded in 2013,
and they haven't released anything.
It's about time.
Yeah, it's about. Like I said, it's about time, and for that company to exist, even though they don't have a name for themselves, obviously, and they could be a one-trick pony. I think it should come out now.
Where do you just get these weird-ass games from, dude? What do you follow?
How do
you get into these circles?
I don't know
what are these edgelord accounts you follow?
It wasn't even edgelord. It was like a YouTube video like,
that's an edgelord game. That's an edgelord game.
It was a reveal trailer. And it was like, well, I'll take a look at this. Reveal gameplay. Because they haven't even showed a trailer. They've showed gameplay, which made it seem like it was a lot closer along than it was. But it's been years.
Okay. Yeah. Number 4 for me. Sony buys Bluepoint. And their next remake will be an RPG. And then in parentheses with a little question mark, I put Chrono Trigger?
Chrono Trigger? You haven't played Chrono Trigger, have you?
Played the first few hours.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was great. I don't know why I never finished it. I just fell off and never came back. And I definitely should go back.
Yeah, it just gets better.
Because it's a great game. Or it felt great as I was going. I think I got to a moment where Robot was getting beat up.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Robot, no, stop beating up my friend!
Yep.
And then I stopped playing. I couldn't tell you why. So the main part here is Sony buys Bluepoint. Yeah. I think this makes just entirely too much sense not to happen.
Demon's Souls remake.
Demon's Souls,
PS4,
Shadow of the Colossus, Uncharted trilogy.
Yeah.
They did something else. Oh, they did Metal Gear Solid 2, 3, and Peace Walker. That came out on Xbox as well. Yeah. But everyone associates Metal Gear with PlayStation anyway.
They do, yeah. It's with Microsoft,
and that was like their first big thing that they did was that Metal Gear package. And then since then they've pretty much only done PlayStation stuff.
Well, with Microsoft buying like Bethesda and just starting to acquire studios left and right, it's time for Sony to do their own thing.
Well, and Sony also putting out the statement of like, hey, we're only looking to buy studios that make sense. Like a natural development. Well, I don't see how you could get more natural coexistence than Sony and Bluepoint. Their last 3 major releases have all been PlayStation exclusives. Like, what?
Yeah. It seems like exclusives are now either going to be, the Xbox and PC or PlayStation, and they need their own. I can't even
PlayStation also opening up the doors to releasing their games on PC. Horizon Zero Dawn is on PC. Death Stranding is on PC.
That is true as well. They're still not as open as someone like Microsoft is. So it's a wonder why they haven't done this yet. Because I can't think of any other company that they would choose first to start acquiring studios.
Especially since they got Insomniac this last year.
Yeah, I remember that.
Just off the back of Spider-Man alone, like. And also, I think Demon's Souls is just on a different level in terms of remakes. Because it was like, this is... Not only is, like, this comparable to the first game and is, like, honorable to the first game, this is better than the original game. Mm-hmm. Like, if you play the original game now, you're an idiot. You should play the Bluepoint remake. And, like, that's just kind of it. Like, there's no other real...
There's no competition.
There's no conversation of, like, oh, but the original, like, it's so nostalgic. Like, no, it's like, no, the original is what it is. Play the remake. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what everybody says.
Yeah.
Even with Shadow of the Colossus, it was like 80% play the remake. But then there were still, like, some people who were like, the original was probably still the best way to play. With Demon's Souls, it's undeniable. So Bluepoint is on another level. They're tearing through these games right now.
Now, in terms of Sony acquisition, I don't know, do they acquire Sucker Punch?
What? They've had Sucker Punch.
That's what I thought.
Forever.
They've had it for years. I was like,
forever.
It never seemed like it's been on Xbox. Because you were a big Sucker Punch player.
Sucker Punch is a first-party studio. What are you talking about?
I didn't know. You're the one who
insane, bro.
You owned a PS3. I didn't.
It's not a PS3. They've owned them since PS2.
That's when I didn't play any of their fucking games in PS2.
You didn't play games?
Dude, that was the first Sucker Punch game I played. Ghost of Tsushima.
Sucker Punch, Sly Cooper, let's go!
I never played that
I miss
game.
Sly Cooper, man.
Hey, maybe that'll come back.
No, I don't want it.
You don't want it?
I mean, I'll take like HD releases.
Now, you're taking Ratchet and Clank. Why not Sly?
Because Ratchet and Clank is still being done by Insomniac, and the last Sly Cooper game was done by what's their name? Subaru something.
Subaru?
It's a different company, and I really didn't like Sly 4. I
remember you hating it.
I thought Sly 4 was trash. But yeah, no, Sucker Punch is a first-party studio for Sony. They've always been that way.
Okay, well,
you're insane.
Either way,
it's Insomniac that, for whatever reason, was never acquired until recently. And that's why, it was, crazy when, Sunset Overdrive was really, came out, and it was, Xbox exclusive. We were like, what?
Yeah.
From Insomniac?
And that was a chance.
Because that's coming off of the back of, Ratchet and Clank, which never really went away.
It's always kind of stayed in the front.
It kind of went into the shadows a little bit, but it never, disappeared. You could always find a Ratchet game.
Mm-hmm.
But during the PS3 era, they did the Resistance games, which were fine. People liked them.
I liked that first game from the little bit I played.
Yeah, people liked Resistance fine. But Insomniac never really caught and was never really the studio until Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember what they did, and because did they do Jak and Daxter? No, that was Naughty Dog. No, but Spyro. Spyro, everyone liked Spyro, but it wasn't Spyro was never on the level of Jak and Daxter or Ratchet and Clank or Crash Bandicoot, and then Resistance by the time you get to the PS3, you're just competing with Naughty Dog. Mm-hmm. And you're like, oh, fuck, man, I don't know, man. And then there's Santa Monica being edgy with God of War in the corner. Between Naughty Dog and Santa Monica, you just didn't have any room to breathe on that console. Mm-hmm. And then I think they finally found some footing here with Spider-Man and with, this new age of Ratchet and Clank, where everyone seems to be excited for Ratchet now. We haven't been excited for Ratchet since the PS2. Mm-hmm. So, it's all good time. Yeah. And back to my prediction, it just makes sense for Sony to just finally, just make it,
yeah.
Just get it on, bro.
Just buy it.
Just jump straight into bed. Mm-hmm. Just make beautiful, beautiful babies.
Do you think Blue Point would come up with games faster after that with the full backing of Sony? So you're obviously making a prediction of.
I don't know. They've been doing it at a pretty solid pace. 3 years.
Mm-hmm. They're probably already fine as it is.
So. Yeah, they're probably already fine as it is. You do notice they like to jump around a lot though, and they like to do iconic shit.
Oh, that's what they're concerned with right now.
Yeah, is to do big things.
The last one was Titanfall 2. That was their original, IP.
What?
Didn't they make Titanfall 2?
No, you're thinking of fucking Respawn, dude.
Respawn.
You're terrible with this.
I don't pay attention to these companies.
You should. You have a podcast.
Until recently, I never paid attention to them.
No, that's Respawn. We talked about this earlier on this episode. Anyways, no. I just think RPG is the next step for them. Mm-hmm. And to me, what makes sense is Chrono Trigger. It could be anything. It could be a Final Fantasy game. It could be it could be anything.
In terms
really,
of Chrono Trigger, I wonder how they do that art style.
Chrono Trigger would work the best.
It would. Because they did Akira Toriyama, the guy who did Dragon Ball's art style in the promotion.
I mean, I think they take a lot of notes from 7 Remake.
They might, but once again, the concept art of Chrono Trigger is so iconic because it was done by the Dragon Ball creator, and it's done in that style. The same style that Dragon Quest games are done in. Will they go with a more photorealistic style? That seems what they'd be kind of going into the direction of. That would make sense.
I would.
And you wouldn't have to require to be, using the art style of another famed artist.
Because it's what they do anyway.
Mm-hmm. They did that with Demon's Souls
to make
more.
such a. I mean, I guess it would make sense for their next thing now that you've got Demon's Souls, which is super colorful and has a style all of its own. But then to go even deeper into a different style and make it a little more, let's go almost like cel shady anime-ish. Mm-hmm. It would make sense, but I just don't think that's what people want from Chrono Trigger. I think people want a photorealistic Chrono Trigger. People want to see high fidelity. People want to see their old PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2 games look like next gen games, like PS5 and above games. They want them to play and function those ways. So I think in terms of gameplay, I think you're looking at a lot of like Final Fantasy VII Remake influence.
In terms of gameplay, I have no doubt that's what they would be doing.
Yeah.
Really. I mean, like, that's kind of shown.
Narratively, I think you play it safe and make the same game. But
oh yeah, you wouldn't make something different.
And I also think I think they really, really do, especially if they were purchased by Sony, I think they really, really do take a big step forward, because Final Fantasy VII Remake does not play it's a different game in terms of gameplay mechanics and shit. I don't think Chrono Trigger's old gameplay would hold up today, and I think this is where they take their first big step off of the clout that they've gotten from Demon Souls and from Shadow of the Colossus, but especially Demon Souls. I think this is where they take the big jump and say, hey, we're going to make creative differences now. Mm-hmm. The narrative will probably be the same.
They're not in the business of remaking games in that way.
Yeah. But I think this will be the first point where they're like, hey, we're basically just going to make our own gameplay because, let's be honest, that's what you want. You want a 7 remake version of Chrono Trigger in terms of gameplay. So, I think that would make sense. Doesn't have to be Chrono Trigger; it could be something else.
Be anything.
But and it doesn't even necessarily have to be an RPG. It could be another action game. Mm-hmm. But I think it would make sense. I think that's a natural way to go. Connor, your fifth and final
weird game
prediction for 2021.
Prediction is a game that I think should have come out in 2018. I believe. I don't know if you've heard of this. It's called Atomic Heart.
Never heard of it.
So Atomic Heart it's made by a Russian developer. It's set in Russia during the Cold War, and the general idea of it
is that Metro already.
We do have Metro, but this is a very different type of game. It's not post-apocalyptic. It's a very surreal game where you're working at some kind of scientific testing site, and the main enemies you fight against are robots that have gone haywire, kind of like System Shock, but some other experiments have kind of leaked out and are causing like reality-bending stuff to go around and just, kill people and cause lots of problems. And it was...
What was this game called?
Atomic Heart.
Atomic Heart?
Atomic Heart, yeah. It seriously looked really, really fun and unique. And once again, we've seen gameplay. They've been quiet for a while now, and we haven't seen high nor tail of them. I don't know if I used that expression right.
The game was once slated for 2019 with a beta set later in that year. That clearly didn't happen.
Yeah, so, a prediction of 2021 seems like it'd be a pretty safe bet. It
looks like Rage meets BioShock?
I was going to say the exact same thing, yeah. No, not the Rage part.
Or maybe...
Definitely BioShock inspired.
Maybe like Fallout meets BioShock.
I can say for certain.
I'm not saying like RPG, just from like screenshots.
No, right. It looks like BioShock. I can say that for certainty. And
clear BioShock influence here.
No, yeah, very, very clear. BioShock 1 and 2 less than 3, or infinite. But I'd like to see that game.
That's gory.
Yeah, it's pretty. Seems like it can be pretty brutal at times, but I've been really interested in this game for a while, and I would like to see some development on that front. Hopefully, this upcoming year. Yeah,
I think this game's canceled.
You think it's canceled?
I think this game got quietly canceled.
It could have been. I mean, it could have been like the Scorn thing, but if it isn't canceled, I see it coming out this year.
We'll find out, won't we?
We will.
With the passage of time. Now, for my final prediction, Connor, It's about goddamn time. It's been away for so long. You fucking satiated us with this goddamn deluxe version. We need a new Mario Kart, Nintendo. And 2021 is the time to do it.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned a little bit about it while we were eating some Popeye's chicken.
Yeah.
And you raised a good idea about what they could do with that game.
Here's the thing. We already have Link and some other characters and we're going to like Animal Crossing maps. We're going to Samus maps. We're going to F-Zero map. Like, we're going to all these maps. We're going to all these places. You already have pretty much every distinguishable Mario character in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
And by the way, I did bring it up earlier. Inkling is in Mario Kart.
Okay, yeah. Fantastic. We have Inkling. We have Link. We have Donkey Kong, even though Donkey Kong is still technically a Mario Kart or a Mario character. What we don't have, Connor, is just the wide range of games to pull from that Nintendo has.
Exactly. Final Fantasy characters.
Well, no. But, well, no. So my prediction is Mario Kart subtitled. We forget the 9s, we forget the 10s, we forget all these numbers. Mm-hmm. Too many numbers.
It's gotten out of hand.
Mario Kart Nintendo. Mm-hmm. And this is going to be your Smash Brothers equivalent for Mario Kart. We're jumping the gun. We're going to grabbing Samus. We're gonna go grab Bayonetta. We're gonna go grab fucking some Fire Emblem characters.
Oh, don't open that gate, Tavin. People are gonna get angry.
And we're just gonna jump around. We're just gonna grab a whole slew of guys. We're gonna get Captain Falcon in here. We're gonna get Fox in here.
Those guys need to be in it.
We're
in the racing game.
Falco and Peppy and Wolf and all these great characters. We're just gonna give them. We're gonna put them in carts and we're gonna have them throw turtle shells at each other.
Kirby, King Dedede.
Where's Kirby at?
Limits are there.
Where's Ganon at? No. You know, put some Zelda in some fucking Mario Kart. Why not?
So now. It's not the same as Smash Brothers, though, because in Smash Brothers, these characters play completely different. You know, there's going to be changes depending on which character you're using in which cart.
Yeah.
Like, such as items, which is the big way they can really develop this game, by including other Nintendo characters. But there's not as much room to be as creative as you could in other games, like I said, Smash Brothers.
Well, yeah. Well, just think of it this way. This just opens things up. Now, item boxes now pull in items from other games. We get a little blaster. We have a little, like Samus' little blaster arm. We get that. We just blast whoever's in front of us. That's
Stuns
fun.
Enemies. That'd be nice.
Stuns enemies. We could get... We already have bananas. I'm going off the top of my head here. We could get we could get Fox's deflector shields.
I was thinking of the smash attack from Ganondorf, where he turns into that bull for a second and goes across the screen.
See, there you go. It's basically just a bullet bill, but maybe shorter, just a quick burst,
larger, more powerful,
right through and forward. Yeah. Kind of like a mix between the bullet bill and the and just a mushroom.
Yeah,
and it just Now you're 10 feet ahead, and the guy behind you just got fucked.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we could get like a Triforce item that does something kind of cool. Who knows what that would even look like? You know, we could get some Kirby items thrown in there. We could get, is Yoshi in Mario Kart? Yoshi's in Mario Kart.
Yeah.
And we start playing with the formula here because not too much, but just in ways that make sense.
With item boxes.
Item boxes
and maps.
Carts, maps, that type of stuff.
Yeah. Because the maps can kind of feel the same, like, it's another Mario map. You know, here's
But we already have so many different and wide variety of maps in 9 or in 8 already, because you go to F-Zero, you go to Hyrule, you go to fucking Animal Crossing.
Yeah. Extrapolate on
villages.
Those ones.
We get more of those. We get to have some more fun. Let's go to a Metroid map. Let's see what let's see fucking Garrick Mach. That would be fun to drive around in Mario Karts. Why not? Let's do it. I mean, we're sick of just being so confined. Who wants to play as a fucking Koopa Troopa?
Now, do you think there are Mario Kart purists out there? It's called Mario Kart, not Nintendo Kart, and they'd be upset at that?
Well, see, that's why you make it a subtitle and you don't change the main title. You see what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying here? And someone come up with a better idea than just Mario Kart and Nintendo.
We had the same thing for a while.
Make it Mario Kart Universe.
Mario Kart Ultimate.
Or Mario Kart Ultimate.
Yeah. That'd be the cop-out answer.
That would be a cop-out answer, but it would make sense. Everybody would know what they're getting.
Yeah, that's true.
Everybody would know what we're getting. And I think that, honestly, doesn't that sound fun? That sounds like something everybody would want.
That's a Mario Kart game I would get behind again.
Exactly. Because, I think people love 8. I love 8. But it does. There's just an underlying of like, okay, this formula is getting a little tired. Mm-hmm. Like you switched it up a little bit with the flying and the gliders and the going in the anti-grav like stuff. You switched it up a little bit to allow for some more creative map designs. But it's still just Mario Kart.
Yeah, change it up.
Let's change it up in some real mechanical ways, but mechanical ways that make sense.
I prefer the word dynamic ways.
Dynamic, sure, that works too. Connor.
Those are our predictions.
Those are our predictions for 2021. Will they come true? Who knows? Probably not.
God knows.
But, Connor, let's talk about things we do know are coming to 2021.
As long as nothing fucky comes around and just screws
as long as, things stay on course in a post-COVID world. But, Connor, let's talk about the games we're most anticipating, we're most excited about. The games that we're just like, we can't hold it in. We're so ready to play these games, Connor.
Now, I did 5.
I also did 5.
Okay, good. We're on the same page. Now, just like with the predictions, none of these are numbered in any meaningful way. It just, what
I wrote them down as they came to my mind.
Yeah. I did the same thing, and I'll start. Or I guess we'll say
But even I could just quickly rearrange it and make it to where it's my most anticipated.
No need to deal with that. I'm just going to get the one out of the way.
Okay.
That I'm going to say, and you're going to say, Mass Effect Legendary Edition.
It's not my list.
It's not your list?
Not
Why?
my list.
You're not anticipated for that?
Oh, I'm very excited. I'm very anticipated. I think about it damn near every day. I think about this this remaster, this trilogy, this reignition of Mass Effect. I'm so fucking bloody excited to get back in there.
I definitely need it because I haven't played the games like you have recently.
Yeah,
I won't now. Obviously.
Oh my god, dude! I can't wait to nerd out with you. I want to watch you do it. But there's no way your schedule fucking sucks and you're a piece of shit. And you never commit to anything anyway.
Jesus, okay? Yeah, my god, came from nowhere.
Connor, I'm just saying. We started this podcast. We were gonna do Lasso in Halo, and you ran out.
Hey, that's also on Phil. And I looked in the chat. By the way, Tavin, I looked in the chat. You never said. Let's do it this day. You never said that. You never said that.
Let's run it back again.
Let's run it back again. Okay, let's run it back.
Okay, we were going to do Fast and Furious movies. How deep into that did we make it?
I know you're going to bring up Lord of the Rings as well.
Lord of the Rings as well, Connor!
Alright, we'll do that soon. Okay, what? Anyway, why, I mean, it's Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I want to go back to the game that I thought
there was a pretty good chance you would put it on your list so we could talk about it anyway. So,
nice. Well, I mean, there's not much to say about it because we haven't seen any gameplay. We don't know how far the changes are going to be, even though we can kind of guess
2 and 3 will probably mostly be the same. They might just look better. One is the one. The Mass Effect 1 is the one I'm most interested in. What have they done to 1? What have they done to my baby?
Yeah, we've said that for a while now. Really, just wait till that comes out because it doesn't have an official release date, but it's going to come out next year.
I'm expecting April-ish, maybe May.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. Now, why did you not put it on your list? Why all of a sudden was it?
There's other games I'm excited for, and I've played Mass Effect a billion times, and everybody knows I'm excited for Mass Effect. It's no secret, guys. I like Mass Effect. I'm excited for it.
You did analyze a trailer that told us nothing.
That told us nothing.
Yeah.
And today I just want to. Connor. Other people have analyzed it. People who are much better at analyzing than me.
And they haven't gotten anything meaningful at all, but they're acting like they did.
Yes, that's true. That's true. But some interesting theories are out there, Connor.
Theories are another thing.
Some interesting theories. Yeah. And then that spawned theories in my head, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that another day.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of time between.
There's a lot of time. It's going to be a long time before we see this new Mass Effect game. Anyways. No, this trilogy remaster, I'm super, super excited for it, but everybody knows I'm excited for it. Mm-hmm. And what am I going to say about it? I can't wait to make the same choices I've already made.
I can't wait to have sex with more alien women.
It's not like I've already had sex with all of the available.
Jesus Christ, you played it that much.
I've played it a lot, Connor.
That much.
I haven't done everybody. I've done most of them, though. I think I've done all the aliens.
Of course.
Because the human characters tend to be a little boring.
They do. They don't have much work put into them comparatively.
I'm really just thinking of Jacob when I say that. Most of the characters are pretty solid. What was I talking about? Oh, but what else am I going to say about Mass Effect that I haven't said already? Yeah. We've talked about it on the show a dozen times. I'm ecstatic to jump back in and get some more trophies and get some more platinums out of this trilogy. Mm-hmm. I'm concerned as to what they're doing with Mass Effect 1. I want Mass Effect 2 and 3 to just kind of be unified and run better.
You should get that. We should be able to get that.
I'm also excited because Mass Effect 3's story and ending were rushed and, in its launch state left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. And I don't think enough people came back to see the extended cut and to see what the Leviathan DLC did and to see how fun and great the Citadel DLC is. Before that Citadel DLC, I never would have guessed how much I wanted fan service in Mass Effect, but holy shit do I want fan service in Mass Effect, and Citadel does that in spades. It's phenomenally done.
As good as Mass Effect was, they really didn't push any of that stuff.
I mean, I think they did as much. I think they did as much as they did before. Mm-hmm. And also not everybody played Shadow Broker or the Arrival DLC
Great
for Mass Effect 2.
By the way, I didn't play the Arrival DLC.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then I'm excited for the conversation to switch from Mass Effect being, oh yeah, Mass Effect's great until that ending, to, oh yeah, Mass Effect's great and the ending's okay. Mm-hmm. The ending's fine, but the journey is what is great about Mass Effect, and I can't wait to have that conversation change. Yeah. I'm so sick of hearing about the ending, and now I'm excited to just be like, oh, okay, we're here. Mm-hmm. We're in a good place. This is where Mass Effect should be again. great jumping off point to get people excited into what Mass Effect 4 is.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited for it. I mean, I put it on my list. I don't express my excitement for this game much because I haven't played as much as you
Connor,
do.
you played the game as Male Shepherd.
Yes.
Will you be making that mistake again?
Mistake? Well...
No disrespect to Mark Meir, but Jennifer Hale runs you out of town, buddy.
Oh, that's true. I'm going to do the male one again. Because do you know why? Because I am a red-blooded American. That's why. A red-blooded male American. And that's what I will do. Nothing will stray me from that course, Tavin.
Connor, you just don't know the excellence that is a Garrus romance.
I stray myself from having a female character in Cyberpunk with a dick. No. I did not stray from that because I was still like, I'm going to be a guy. That's why.
It's a mistake. It's a mistake.
Baby!
You'll never know what it's like to bed a Turian.
That would be nice, but I guess I never will know.
Okay, so I'm going to jump into my first game then. Ratchet & Clank Into the Nexus.
Yeah, you've been showing some excitement for this one.
Dude, I believe it was 2016, the last Ratchet & Clank game came out.
With that movie tie-in?
Yeah, that movie was terrible, but the game, Connor, was everything I wanted it to be. Now, the story took some turns that I wasn't the biggest fan of. It was a little too kiddie in some moments. It was a little too, slapsticky in other moments.
The changes kind of seemed unnecessary.
It was, but it was obviously clear because of the movie. Like, the movie did that. Am I excited that Dr. Nefarious is returning? Not really. I don't like Ratchet & Clank 3. I think Dr. Nefarious is the reason Ratchet & Clank quote-unquote fell off in the PS3 generation because it just became kind of cartoon of itself and a caricature of itself.
It's already a cartoon, though.
Huh?
It's already kind of a cartoon
of
itself.
Yeah, but like there was a grit to it in those first two games, and even in Ratchet Deadlocked, which came out after. But there was a grit to it that I really, really enjoyed, and the juxtaposition of that grit mixed with that cartoony element of it was the special sauce. And then when we got to Ratchet & Clank Upper Arsenal, the grit was kind of just gone, and it never came back, with the exception of a few of the spin-off games. And I don't think we're getting that grit back here. I think it's going to be a continuation of the tone that was established in that last game. But I think it's going to be less... It's gonna have less of those kiddie Hollywood making a kids movie elements in it. It's gonna be more true to what Ratchet & Clank is, and I think that's where we want Ratchet & Clank to be in 2021. I also think this is gonna be the first real game that shows off the power of next gen, and is going to show us that, this is what we mean when we say, the loading is better, and the dual load, or whatever it's called, where two levels are basically loaded at the same time, you're hopping in between them. On the fly.
It's the console to show that off on.
Yeah, and I think Ratchet & Clank Into the Nexus is going to, one, take Ratchet to a new level in which, the fans will love it, but I think it'll also be able to bring in new fans, and people all around will enjoy it. Two, I think it's going to be a great game, and one of my personal top contenders for Game of the Year. I think everybody else will just kind of write it off as a Ratchet game when it comes to that Game of the Year conversation, but a damn good Ratchet game. Mm-hmm. But 3, I think it's going to be like it's going to be the reason that's like, we need to be on next gen now. We need to start cutting off the PS4 and the Xbox One, lifespan here.
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't make sense anymore.
Anything that's going to be one of the big games to really be driving that change in the direction of the new consoles.
I think it's going to be the first game to really be driving that change. I guess the conversation is kind of starting with Cyberpunk, but that's more of like a CD Projekt mismanagement thing than it is a last-gen consoles can't handle the game. I don't believe them when they say the last-gen console can't handle this game. Mm-hmm. Especially since it's just a fucking Fallout game. But I think Ratchet, it's so clear, and especially because it's the only real big PlayStation game that was announced that isn't for PlayStation 4. So I think it's really going to show off and be the technical showcase of next gen that we really kind of need to like really cement what this generation is going to advance in terms of technology in this medium. Connor.
Good reason to be excited for that Ratchet & Clank game.
Yeah, how are you feeling about that as someone who's not a Ratchet fan?
I won't be playing it. I know for a fact I won't be. But, I mean, it looked fun. It looked like if you
Connor,
like...
what's it like being a loser?
It feels good knowing that I was able to play such amazing games in my childhood. Not that stupid Ratchet and Clank game, but Dynasty Warriors by
Oh yeah, because Dynasty Warriors is in such a great place now.
Yeah, it's a great place right now.
Only being able to exist off the back of Zelda.
Well, besides that, no, the game does look fun. I mean, if I played it, if I bothered to say, okay, I'll take time with this game, I would enjoy it. It looks like a very, very, very fun game to play.
Yeah.
But it's just not for me. I don't have... it seems like it's a weird jumping point for a Ratchet and Clank franchise.
Oh, I think it's going to be I think this is a great point where it's just like, oh, these are two friends. We're just off. We're having an adventure. Oh no, we get separated. Mm-hmm. Like, honestly, any of these games you can jump in on. It's not like a narrative like thing that you have to be like, oh, I have to know what happened in the last one. Like,
fair enough. But even so, I don't see myself playing this game at the current moment in time. Maybe it'll be received with like some of the best reviews. Like, my God, this is actually better than anybody could have expected. And I'll be like, yeah, I'll buy it.
Oh, it'll get a bunch of 8s. Mm-hmm. I would assume.
Well, see, if it goes beyond that, I'll be like, okay, maybe I'll jump in. Maybe
I think it really depends on how long it is.
It shouldn't be long. I don't think the other games weren't long, from my understanding.
The last one wasn't.
The last one was, but the other ones were then.
No, the other ones weren't long, Connor. The Ratchet games are about 6 hours.
Okay. That makes more sense. Yeah, and and you said it was a $50 price.
Yeah, it's probably going to be there. $50, I imagine. I can't imagine them doing the full $70.
They should not
for a Ratchet and Clank game. That doesn't make sense to me in this day and age. Especially because the last game was a $40 game, mm-hmm. and then with the $10 hike for next gen, it's probably gonna be $50. Mm-hmm. I assume. I could be wrong, and if I am, there better be a reason as to why Ratchet and Clank Into the Nexus is a fully priced, fully fledged game, because I just feel like we're not in that era anymore of having these mascot characters being full priced games.
Yeah, you think they're kind of delegated to the position of mascot characters, and that was a game we played in the past. Good times.
No, I think they're delegated to the position of sort of what that like AA era was. I think mascot characters are in that era, but like super high polished. Mm-hmm. So like still AAA, but like you can still kind of see the strings a little bit. Yeah, so I'm incredibly excited for Ratchet, and I can't wait. Connor.
Yes.
What's your next game?
My next game is Guilty Gear Strive. So I just recently had gotten in to the last Guilty Gear game that was made, Guilty Gear Revelator
mm-hmm.
Xrd 2. Mm-hmm. Dumb fucking title. I know. And
some anime shit.
Strive is way better.
Can I just say... Never mind.
Oh, I know. No. Go ahead and say it. This is a podcast, Tavin. It's where we...
It's like the Japanese, the anime shit, they don't know how to name their shit.
Sometimes they don't.
Yeah,
sometimes they don't.
It's clearly just like a localization, like translation to English thing, probably.
It has to be.
I would assume. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Maybe even to the Japanese, it's like, yeah, long titles. They're weird and stupid, but we like it.
Okay, if you know anything about light novels, they love long titles. At least that's a thing over there.
Ridiculous.
But, Arc Systems Works is the game that's making this game. Is the developers who are making this game. They've made all the other Guilty Gear games. And they have a habit of making their games look beautiful. This one looks like it's their best looking game yet. It's got the same style, the same anime style that other Guilty Gear games have had, specifically the last one, and this one just seems to make it even look better and make the fluid animations even greater. It looks so good. The character designs are all reimagined to fit this new style. And the gameplay itself, even though they have the system of having a wall break, kind of like Injustice had,
where you like throw a character into the side of the map and then you go to a new map.
Yeah, that's the big noticeable thing they've added to this game while taking out some other mechanics.
But Injustice and Mortal Kombat fans love that shit.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a older Japanese fighting game. That's a pretty new mechanic, and introducing that can kind of be kind of mess with the original vibe that these games kind of have.
I mean, it's worth saying in Injustice and in Mortal Kombat, you can turn that off.
You may be able to take it off here. Maybe not. I'm not quite sure.
I would assume you can.
It's a change. I don't really mind.
Because it's for the elites, they're like, oh, you get all this free damage for knocking him into the wall or putting him in the corner.
Yeah, this one doesn't do that. All it does is reset the map. So it's like, you're not going to get ganged up in this corner for, 10 combos. Like, I mean, a bunch of combos.
No, my point is that, like, an animation will play, and then, like, each time your character gets hit, like, they lose some damage.
Yeah, they don't have
that animation.
Yeah, they don't have that in this one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the difference.
Weird. maybe I don't understand what you're saying, or maybe
no, that one's just different. Like that wall break mechanic is just they have a damage included in that. Guilty Gear Strive just isn't having that.
Okay,
but it looks like a really fun fighting game. We'll see if it takes the place of Revelator. As these fighting games usually go, sometimes a new game will come out and people will still play the old game a lot. And I mean, they already played the last Guilty Gear right now, and that's not going anyway anytime soon.
Yeah, but people have been playing Street Fighter 2 for
exactly that's
10
even
years.
longer. So I'm excited for it. Fighting game fans are excited for it. See how that plays out when it comes in May.
We will see. My next game on my list, I've got Horizon Forgotten West.
Forgot that was coming up.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm expecting it mid-year, probably August-ish, maybe sooner. Because it looks to be the first big PlayStation game for next gen, even though it is on PS4. But it looks to be like the one that okay, now we're in next gen. Now this is a next gen title. I expect the PS4 one to not be nearly as good looking or to even run nearly as well as it will run on PS5 is what I'm expecting. But who knows? I'm excited for this. We've only really gotten a cinematic trailer, no real gameplay, no real story beats that we think are interesting. I'm mostly just excited to see where they take this narrative because they left us off in such an interesting spot. And Horizon is a world that is rooted in sci-fi and in technology, but it's got just enough science mumbo jumbo that it's magic. The machines have magic for some reason.
The mechanics of what make the world tick are so beyond our understanding of the normal world that it's magic to us,
it's right? Kind of just whatever. Yeah, sure, we're just doing whatever we want. We're getting it's getting kind of magical, or at least the first game got literally evil spirits were coming out of the evil AI, and you're what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, that is true, huh?
But it was still great. It was still fantastic. And I'm hoping to see that one of the big complaints about the first game is that all the side content has the worst voice actors, and the animations for the side quests are terrible. They're super stiff. Obviously an AI just went over and smoothed them over. I'm hoping to see some advancements in that area. Some side quests that are Witcher 3 level of side quests.
Nice little polish to it.
Some more polish. I'm hoping the dialogue wheel stays. I can't imagine they'll take it out. And I'm hoping it'll actually kind of matter this time around. I'm hoping for romances and relationships to happen in this game.
Yeah. With the conversation wheel, you kind of open the gate for that, and if you don't take advantage of that, it seems kind of
and it's
against the grain.
It's not even in the first game. There's even some characters who flirt with her, and she goes, nah.
Yeah, really.
And you're all right, well, I mean, I get, it makes sense because it's who that character is, and honestly, I feel like the character's probably gay anyway. And I just want to see that element of that character be explored, personally. You don't have to. I don't see the reason why you should, but it would just be nice. And I'm just hoping that they get a big bump in the writing department. Because I think the main story is good, and I just remember that moment. You climb some tower, and there's a bunch of old decrepit technology and platforms that are falling apart and stuff, and you get to your objective, and you realize there is a dual narrative happening of what is happening with Aloy and then what happened in the past. And it's just so creative, and I found it so fascinating that I'm just wow, I cannot wait to see where this goes.
I'm going to open myself up to criticism from you. I never beat Horizon.
You definitely should go.
I should. It was one of the. It's kind of like Chrono Trigger. I'm having so much fun.
Yeah.
Why did I stop doing that game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should absolutely go back.
Yeah.
You would have to restart at this point. But
I would have to. I don't remember anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I never really think of this game when I think of games coming out this year because it's never a solid release date yet.
I will say, Connor, me and Phil, we're in talks. We've got something in the works.
Oh yeah.
That I'm not going to talk about now.
Okay.
But we will go in deeper. And your experience with Horizon might play into those works.
Okay.
So, we might
now
have you jump on this bandwagon.
Now,
just wait. No. That's the tease. That's what's happening right now.
Okay, tease. Yeah, I'm assuming I'll know before behind the scenes.
Oh yeah. We can talk about it off mic. But
okay, nice. Okay, I have some.
We got some exciting things happening.
Nice. All right, I'd like to hear about them. But yeah, that's a good game to be excited for. Maybe that's a good bringing that up, and if it actually does get confirmed for this year or this next year.
Also, I just want the RPG elements of that game to be
better.
Better, sure, but like just more. Let's explore more. Specifically, like the armor sets in the first game were all kind of whack. Mm-hmm. And like you just kind of found your favorite and stuck with that one the entire time.
Because it didn't mean anything gameplay wise.
It meant some things, but like it just didn't mean enough. And like a lot of the bonuses just weren't really worth talking about.
In a sense, kind of like Bloodborne.
Yeah, like it's just like I guess like that's there, but like whatever. Like it's definitely like it's like in God of War, like the RPG mechanics in God of War, the 2018 one. You're like, oh, that's right, they did have those. Mm-hmm. I would like to see explore some of the side weapons in the first game weren't as like some were like kind of lame in comparison to others. Like you mostly just used like the explosive weapon and the bow, and that was it. There were like straight up like some other weapons that you just never used. Mm-hmm.
There seems to be a lot to develop with that game. Man.
Yeah. It was such a great starting point for this new IP that I cannot wait for them to just blow it out of the water with this next game.
Yeah, good to hear more about it.
Connor.
Yes.
Next on your list.
Next
number
game.
3.
You know what? This seems kind of a weird thing to put on my list, but I had to put it anyway because it does look good. Resident Evil 8.
Oh, wow, I did not expect this on your list. Why is it not on my list?
So here's the weird thing.
What?
It's not.
It's not on my list!
That sucks for you because I never played Resident Evil 7. No. Okay,
well, we'll fix that. We'll fix that.
We'll fix that.
Yeah.
I did play it. I was wrong. I played the first bit of it.
Did you play it or did you watch me play? You watched me play, didn't you?
You played it and said, here, Connor, play this a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. And I did the first beginning parts.
Oh, okay.
And it was really fun.
Yeah.
But I was scared and I didn't want to play it at the time.
That first third of that game is horrifying.
It was terrible. Like, you burst through the wall.
It's so scary, dude. That first third is horrifying.
It kind of evens out, it seems.
Even in the middle, it's kind of scary. By the end, it's not scary at all. You're like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, because things kind of get crazy, I guess. But, this one, the style of this game looks so great. You know, that kind of like Romanian rural setting that it's going to be taking.
This looks like, to me, what Resident Evil 4, just from the trailers they've shown, it looks like what Resident Evil 4 should have been, in that Resident Evil 4 is a great game and a super influential game, and it basically paved the way for third-person shooters today. Mm-hmm.
But
the problem is, for me, is that it's such a left turn in tone and in style that, like, Resident Evil 4 is not a scary game.
No.
And I really wish it was. And it obviously, it was so successful and so renowned that, like, Resident Evil 5 and 6 are just action games.
Which, I'm happy Resident Evil 5 was, because that's a fun experience I've had with that game.
In a co-op experience, yes.
Oh, yeah. But 6...
6, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. It did lead it astray for a little while.
Yeah, as renowned as 4 is, it is the catalyst for why people fell out of Resident Evil. And then having that return to form in 7, even though 7 wasn't the greatest game ever, it was super solid, and it was a great, like, okay, we're back, we're refocused. And then what we've seen with the remakes, it's like, okay, even though 3 is more of an action game than a horror game, it is what the direction should have been. So now we're going to 8, and we're getting a little more crazy with the like different enemy types and stuff. There's like a werewolf or some shit.
Yeah, there's multiple werewolves.
We're gonna see some different enemies, but like we're keeping that horror tone from the looks of it that Resident Evil should so desperately stay in.
Mm-hmm. I mean, from what we've seen, they're obviously going to keep with that style. They've realized that, okay, people loved how everything was presented in Resident Evil 7.
Yeah.
Let's stick with that. Now, I think, I know they were still horror games, but, 2 remake was still a horror game. 3 was more of an action game.
3 is more of an action, but it's got some spookums.
I wonder how they're going to implement that into this new game. Is it going to be very much similar to 7, or is it going to combine certain aspects of the remake? Because those were so well received.
I think there is a chance and there is a world where Resident Evil 8 becomes the best Resident Evil game.
Oh, it could be.
Because it implements all that is great from Resident Evil 4, with the perspective from 7, and from the lessons we learned from these remakes.
Yeah.
And there is a world where this becomes the best Resident Evil. Do I think it'll happen? No, not really. I think it'll be an advancement from 7, and I think it'll be a really, really good horror game. I just don't know if it's going to match up to what Resident Evil 2 did. The remake, that is.
I am interested to see Chris's story play out, because I understand he's not like an amazingly well-written character, but from my experiences with Resident Evil, the remake
so cool
of the first
is that
one...
the remake franchise is fixing that.
Exactly. And I'm afraid he's going to die. To be quite honest,
there's a chance. I don't think you do that. I don't think you do that to one of the most iconic video game characters of all time.
They've branded this as his last game, haven't they? Of the last time he's going to be in the game.
I don't know. I don't know if they've said that much about it.
I thought they had.
He's fat now.
Either that or he's extremely well built and kind of fat. But I want to see how his character plays out. I want to see if he punches any more boulders. Let's see what happens.
Also, I've always said Resident Evil is at its best when it's at a location.
Yes.
The police department.
Africa.
The Baker House. The Spencer Mansion.
Yeah. Africa. And then
it's when you get more general Raccoon City. Okay, cool. We're just an action game now.
We've gone past that point.
Africa. Wow. I don't care. The whole world with 6. It's like, fucking, what? Who cares?
Yeah. Because once you have a location in a Resident Evil game and you establish the tone, that's it. Because everybody carry on with that.
Everybody's favorite part of 4 is the opening hours, where it's in the village. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And now we're in Resident Evil 8 Village. Oh, so this is just going to be a big village for at least probably half the game.
And then you go into the mansion that's been teased with those vampires.
Yeah, and then we live in a mansion. Like, come on, man. Like, this just writes itself. Resident Evil is at its best when it's in a location and it's got like almost like Metroidvania style things where you have to find keys to open doors and figure out your way around, and you're lost and you don't know what's happening, and you miss an item and you go, fuck, I have to go all the way back and fight my way through all these zombies.
And that
stuff.
makes it more scary, especially with 7.
Because
like,
you know you're going to lose resources, and because of your mistake, the inevitable boss fight coming is going to be that much harder.
Yeah,
that's what makes Resident Evil great, and I hope to see that come through.
You went off on this. And it wasn't even your choice.
I know. I got a lot to say about these video games, Colin.
Yeah, I know.
Speaking of which, number 3, Deathloop.
I knew you were going to put this on here.
Deathloop, man!
Yeah.
Arcane Studios has never done me wrong. Mm-hmm. Never. Mm-hmm. Even though I don't play their games as much as I say. But I love the first Dishonored. I really enjoyed Dishonored 2. Prey had all the makings for me to love, but it just didn't hit me at the right time, and it's one of those things that sits in the back of my mind like, God, I should go back to that.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm still salty that they turned away from the bounty hunter story. The alien bounty hunter.
Oh, for Prey?
Yeah, for Prey 2. I was like, they planned Prey 2 that got canceled.
Maybe they'll return to that. I don't think we're ever gonna get a Prey sequel, but maybe we'll find something similar to that. Maybe a Star Wars game. Star Wars bounty hunter game.
That's a big one.
That's great. That's great.
But back to the topic at hand.
Deathloop. This looks like everything that's great about Dishonored with the experimenting with levels and the open level design that like just lets you like fuck around and do all the crazy shit. And then with hopefully it looks like they've taken a lot of notes from Machine Gun Games and from id with their shooting mechanics into just making a super solid shooter. Mm-hmm. So all of those things combined, let's fucking go.
You're big on replayability, and this game, that's the big thing. It's like, you can do all these different ways, and you can stop other players from achieving their mission and whatnot.
Dude, if it's Hitman, but with like the level of like id shooting games and Dishonored styles, I don't think you might have made the perfect game. Like
could be your game of the year. Who knows?
I'm so excited for Deathloop, and it's like, we got all these big landmark titles coming out next year with Horizon and God of War and other shit that's probably going to happen that I just can't think of right now. But like, to me, Deathloop it feels like the one most likely to catch me off guard and be like, holy fuck, I love this game.
I mean, it's kind of already a game after your own heart, as it is.
It's got all the makings.
Really, what matters on that game is how well the shooting is. Yeah. I thought you looked at something that scared me.
No, I looked at the time. We've almost broken an hour and a half already, but
yes.
Having a good time.
Yeah, personally, I'm not as excited for Deathloop as I probably could be, but it seems that if the shooting is really good and exceptional,
and they keep
it could
hinting
really
at like these PvP things happening.
That's what's making me weird. Like, how is that going to play into each other?
Just imagine like, okay, you run a level, you get it, you figure it out, and then another player comes in to fuck you up.
Yeah.
And then you're like, god damn it, like, now I have to figure this out and fight a player and do this and still try and get the best score at the end of this level.
Now, the Dark Souls fan in me is talking, and it's like, yeah, I like that part.
That is exciting. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the gunplay is really what hinges on how good this game is going to be.
100%. Yeah. If this game feels like how Prey felt when it comes to shooting, it's going to fall apart. Mm-hmm. Because Prey was super stiff in like a Bioshock way, where it was like, the shooting wasn't the greatest because it added to the atmosphere. Mm-hmm. And the atmosphere was what was important about Prey and what's important about BioShock. And that's what makes those games great. This can't be that because you're pitching it on replayability and being able to run through these levels again and again and again and again and it fast. And it doesn't look like it's going to be that way because it looks like they've taken notes from their fellow Bethesda studios. And I just hope they pull it off at the end. So,
here's hoping.
Connor.
Yes, my next game
hit me with that fourth sexy game.
Fourth one is a game that I've never played but always wanted to play, Nier Replicant. The remake of the first Nier game.
This is a remake?
Well, remastered. It looks better than the original one because
this is not an original game. I thought that game was original.
No, this is a remake of a game. Yes, it shouldn't be a remaster. It should be a remake. Yeah, because the first Nier came out. It was just called Nier, and that's what established the cult following that would then follow into the commercial success of Nier Automata.
Do you think they're going to do some like Final Fantasy VII remake type shit with this?
No, not at all. It's such a strange game, and it plays in.
Because if a franchise was going to do it, this would be the franchise.
Surprisingly, it wouldn't. Because the weird thing about Nier is that it's connected to another series through like multi-universe type shit called Drakengard. So there's not really room for them to be able to do
We're getting in the weeds here.
I'm not going into it, just saying they can't really do that idea. But the big problem with the original Nier is that it's very stiff. It wasn't made by Platinum Games, like the king of action fighting games nowadays, but it was kind of made to have the strong points of that game be its story and be its characters and have all the weird shit that happens in that game that establishes a bunch of other things in Yoko Taro's game catalog. So this new game looks incredibly fun because the combat looks very polished. It looks very similar to Nier Automata, which isn't a bad thing because that combat to me and many other people is a very, very fun experience. And it's basically just the remastering of a game that already has a great story, already has really fun and interesting characters, has moments that hit you in the feels, combined with better gameplay and better graphics and possibly more side content. I don't know how much side content the original Nier had, because like I said, I've never played it, wanted to play it, never was able to get the chance to, and I'm happy to be able to jump into this game and see how it plays. To kind of join, because I always hear people talk about, I'm kind of into the Nier community, and people talk about like plot points and characters in those old Nier games, and I'm going to be happy to be a part of that and experience it for myself.
Number 4 for me.
Number 4.
How convenient that it's on 4.
Oh.
Because my fourth most anticipated game, not ranked, just, in the order that I'm listing them, is Back 4 Blood.
You see, I had that on my list until I replaced it with Resident Evil 8.
Ah.
But
you see how this is some chemistry that they talk about here, Connor.
Yes, that is
some natural chemistry. I have never really played a lot of Left 4 Dead, but the idea of it always excited me.
I'm surprised I've never gotten into Left 4 Dead either. On PC now.
Well, we were too young when it was popping.
Yeah, my brother played it.
Parents were like, "Oh, it's rated M. No, you can't play that." And also, we just didn't have money, and it's so hard to get 4 friends to get the same fucking game.
Yes, it's hard now. It's easier than ever.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So this is where it's like, okay, I've got friends. We've all got our own money. We've all got PCs. We're all ready to go. I want to jump into this. I want to have a blast. I want us to just fucking fuck some zombies up. Let's just have a good ass time, just casually, just ripping through these things. And then get real tactical about it and be working together as a team and shit and just having fun and having a blast and all that and fighting these big monsters that are coming out of the ground and shit.
I love that, by the way.
Yeah.
Even if they're bullet sponges, I kind of like just big hulking menaces coming towards us with a bunch of smaller enemies around.
This game just looks like a fucking blast. It's made by the people who made the original Left 4 Deads with Turtle Rock and all of them. Mm-hmm. After their kind of slump with Evolve, I think this is really going to be a game that really, really, really catches the hearts of a lot of people.
Yeah. Now, people, it was a while ago when it was really being a problem, but the zombie craze with video games. I remember there was a time where everywhere you looked, there was 4 zombie games, 5 zombie games coming out, and all of them kind of fell by the wayside. In fact, you and me probably can't even remember a lot of them that came out, but do you think it's kind of a good time to be heading in that direction again?
Or for the most part, no. But people want this type of game.
Yeah,
and
Left 4 Dead had
people
multiplayer
want
aspect.
Left 4 Dead is what they want. They want that multiplayer cooperative experience where you're running through a level fighting hordes of just enemies just running at you. And the best way to do that is with zombies. Now, they don't like they look to be like just kind of like monsters or whatever, but like they're zombies. Like, you know,
they're technically infected things, and they're not.
Yeah, there's some kind of like infected or something, whatever. Who cares? But I think Left 4 Dead was smart in that they didn't stick with just the zombie formula, and they have like these crazy monsters that just affect different ways and really change the dynamic in those moments. And I just think I don't know, man. I think this one's gonna be special. I think it's gonna be special, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'll be there with you when that game comes out.
Yeah, I want this so much, and you know, people are playing the beta right now and they're loving it.
Oh, they love it.
Yeah,
I didn't know there was a beta out.
They're having a blast. It's one of those like closed beta things you had to ask for.
I would assume it would be.
You and I were both like, we'll just wait for the full game. Mm-hmm. We'll just wait for the full game. So, cannot wait for Back 4 Blood.
Yeah.
Connor, final game.
Fifth and final game. This is a game that I saw some gameplay of pretty recently. The most we've ever gotten from this game so far. And when it first was announced, I'll just say it right now, actually. No need to have suspense at all. It's Hood, Outlaws, and Legends. So, when I saw this game, I was like, that looks cool. It was a cinematic trailer, so there wasn't really much you could pull from it beyond, I get to play medieval fighting games with friends, and they teased the fact that you're going to be competing against another team while all this is going on. Recently, during the Game Awards, we saw more snippets of gameplay than we'd ever seen before. Saw a guy with a giant hammer, instantly called him, as you remember that.
It was a hilarious thing where we were both watching that trailer like, we could really get our friends in on this. This looks like fun. We might want to play this. And then the sledgehammer guy crushed another dude's head, and I looked at Connor and said, you want that guy with the hammer, don't you?
That guy with the hammer thing. I like that one. So, it kind of with the thing for Back 4 Blood, it seems like it's going to be a very fun game to sit down with friends, plan it, be very strategic, it seems, to try and complete the mission, beating the computer characters while also dealing with whatever players you're trying to fight as well. And
I think that competitive edge will also give some life to it if it comes out and works.
This game wouldn't have been as exciting if it wasn't for that. Because even if I would have enjoyed the medieval type weapons and gameplay,
sure, having
those extra players in there just to fuck with you the entire time, is a great addition. And I'm excited to get my hands on this game.
It'll really add something to it.
Yeah. Is it? I know it's coming out for PS5, obviously. Is it out for PC as well? I think it.
Yeah. It'll come for PC as well.
Okay. Well, more people to play it with in that case.
Absolutely.
And, I'm ready to bash some skulls in with my giant hammer.
Number 5 for me. This is a tricky one, Connor, because clearly this game will not be the greatest game of all time.
Okay.
It probably won't even be my game of the year. But when I tell you that this is one of the games that I am just absolutely most looking forward to next year, this game, I'm just chomping at the bit for this experience. I cannot wait for this game to come out. Lego Star Wars, The Skywalker Saga.
Fuck. Okay, well, I should have seen this coming.
Oh my god, it looks so fun. Let's go!
Of course. We had to.
No, you're telling me you have
an episode. Could have gone an episode without talking about Star Wars.
You gotta.
But here
you talked about it. It was your first game you brought up. Oh, that was in the predictions bit, but whatever. No, I'm so excited for this.
You should have seen
it. It's a Lego Star Wars game with what looks to be an actual dynamic fighting system. Obviously not going to be super complicated or anything, but it looks like it has some type of depth to it. Mm-hmm. And just the reimagining of the first 6 movies and then the additive of the like last 3 movies in the saga. Even though we got 7, so we're remaking 7 again. But to get 8 and 9, I can't wait to see how that story plays out, even though I've got criticisms of certain movies.
The movies are irrelevant when it comes to this kind of game.
Yeah, because it's just going to be a fun blast. We're going to have a good time.
Yeah. Now, it's kind of a pretty daunting task they're doing, making that many games.
I know.
That's a lot.
Each one will have like 6 levels or something.
Yeah, they're cutting it down.
It's going to be bullet points. You're not going to get the complexities of Star Wars within this, or complexities of
sand.
Some of the greatest films, there's not going to be that like 5. There's not going to be that 10-minute scene of Leia and Han sitting in Cloud City talking about their feelings.
No, you will not get that.
No, that's not going to be there.
It's going to be maybe like joking about that, but not.
Yeah, Han will kiss Leia and they'll be like, oh, and that'll be it. But oh man, God, I want it. It looks like it looks like such a step up in the presentation department that Lego games have always needed, and they haven't always hit. Especially in the early days, like it was just so flat, and they've become more dynamic as we've continued along this path, especially with the superhero games and the last Lego Star Wars with The Force Awakens was had a good presentation. But like this looks like a game that really is going to put Lego games back on the map, and how appropriate it is with Star Wars to just come full circle with it.
It's a good way to revitalize the Star Wars gaming world with the Lego Star Wars.
Absolutely. So, Connor,
and those were anticipated.
Those were our most anticipated games of 2021.
Yes, they were.
Now, Connor, we had sort of a preemptive discussion before the podcast about this next topic. However, we're running a little long in the tooth.
We are.
So, I think instead, we'll just have a more general talk about this and not go through so many different games or whatever, and we'll talk about some games that have been announced for next year, but we don't believe in the fucking slightest are coming next year. They're going to get pushed, and we're not going to see them for years after that. And I think the big front runner for this list has got to be God of War Ragnarok.
It's not coming out.
They said 2021, and I just don't believe them. Especially in a COVID world. Like, if COVID hadn't happened, maybe we could see it possibly happening. They've said before, hey, we're going to get this sequel out. It's going to come a lot faster than how long it took to get God of War out.
Yeah, I wouldn't have made a bet for it if COVID wasn't a thing. But now that it is...
Not a chance. Yeah. I just don't believe you. I don't believe you. Like, because game development is hellish anyway. It's tough. It's hard.
Who knows what they're doing for Ragnarok anyway? It could be a massive game. You could do anything.
The only chance in which I could see this happening is if it was a smaller side game in your Uncharted Lost Legacy, Spider-Man Miles Morales type way.
Totally not doing.
Yeah, we don't want. I don't think anybody wants that.
No one wants that.
Nobody wants that.
What did Kratos do before he came to the Norse area?
Nobody cares. We kind of care. We want to know, but like
they can explore that. We want
that in a full game. And I don't see how you can take that first game or that God of War 2018 game, expand on it, deepen its mechanics, deepen some of its elements, and really explore those characters and what it means, and continue to build this lore that they've set up in that first game. I don't see how you can do that in a 3-year window.
And even if they could, I don't think I want them to. Because, who knows what they're at right now.
Like this really...
I want them to have time to do what they want to do. To make the game they want to make.
The thing that works so much about that 2018 game is it came out damn near perfect. Like...
Dude, that's one of the best games I've played.
It's definitely like one of the best games of this generation, and definitely like the best God of War game, I would say.
Undoubtedly so.
Some of the more nerdier guys who are like, oh no, the combos, like...
The more nerdier guys, Tavin.
Like the people who like love those action character games where like you're like getting these combo meters up all the way. But like, to me at least, and that's because I love this type of stories. The switch from just like a crazy action blood and sex game to a more character focused, pull it back and reserve.
A family game, might you say?
A family game. Not a family game, but a game about family. Mm-hmm. And to even pull on some of those old narrative threads that were in that original trilogy, but didn't really hit the mark. I think it's just a great turn for that franchise to make, and I just take all the time you need. I don't need as much as I'm like, oh, I can't wait for it. I can wait for it.
Yeah,
like I'm not chomping at the bit for that because I know when it comes, it'll be great. Don't rush it to pull, like, to get us, like, amped for it immediately or to sell consoles or to hit a benchmark. Like, If it needs to wait a year, wait a year.
Yeah.
And PlayStation's usually always great about this. Last of Us was delayed almost a full year, or Last of Us 2, that is, was delayed almost a full year. Uncharted 4 was delayed, 8 months or some shit.
Definitely haven't heard of any Cyberpunk type rushing going on in that
Yeah,
game.
we've never seen it really happen with these mainstay PlayStation titles. I mean, maybe Days Gone, but that was never one of the premium. We're talking the premium games year. You know, the Spider-Mans, the Naughty Dogs,
the games people think of when they think PlayStation.
Yeah, the Ghost of Tsushima now. We can wait. We know it'll be great. Just make it as great as it needs to be.
Yeah, let's hope Alana Pierce's first writing credit in the game goes smoothly.
Yeah. Shout out to her.
Yeah.
Sure do we?
Always think of that for some reason.
That's the big one. Connor, do you have any other ideas of what has been announced for next year that we just don't believe will make it?
Not big ones. God of War was the big one. You know, I have some other predictions, but I don't really want to go into them.
Let's hear some of those.
Do you want me to go into them right now?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, go into
them. All right. One of them is Psychonauts 2. You know, No,
that game's that game's coming next year.
You think it's coming next year?
That game's coming next year.
When's the last time we've seen things from Psychonauts 2, though?
We saw it recently. One of the last big things we've seen. We saw gameplay at some point recently. I just can't imagine, because the game's been in development for so long. I can't imagine. And now with Xbox has purchased that studio a year and a half ago or whatever, 2 years ago. No, I'm expecting them to come out real soon.
I just know that this company, People Can Fly, always are kind of weird with their releases. They never seem to have a consistent.
It's not People Can Fly.
Isn't it People Can Fly?
No, it's not. It's Tim Schafer's studio.
Yeah, Tim Schafer did.
I always forget that. I've got it. Keep talking.
Double Fine.
Double Fine. That's what it is.
Yeah, Double Fine. They
I was like,
did something else.
People Can Fly.
Yeah, but Double Fine has in the past kind of had a weird, rocky release schedule. You know, they don't make games that often. The last game they made before Psychonauts 2 was that weird narrative type game where you just walked around and there wasn't a lot of gameplay elements to be had in that game. Can't remember what it was called. The one with Elijah Wood in it. It had those two main characters. The one who was in the spaceship and one who was in the little fantasy world.
I think I do. Yeah, but Double Fine is weird.
Double Fine is weird, which is why I'm like, well, are you going to come out this year?
Double Fine makes weird games, but no, this is coming. This is coming. It's been too long. It's been long enough. This is coming. I believe them when they say it's coming this year. Or this next year.
It's been long enough, but who knows?
Let me look. I'm looking at a list of games for 2021.
Shin Megami Tensei 5. People
not a chance in the world.
Chomping at the bit for that.
That game's going to get pushed. Not a chance in hell. That game is coming out next year. We shouldn't be expecting anything like a Final Fantasy VII Remake 2. Not a chance. No. At best, maybe some gameplay. I mean, you talked about it in your predictions episode, but I do not believe Final Fantasy 16 is coming next year.
Yeah, I knew you showed some skepticism on that front. Yeah. I'm hopeful for that one near the end of the year.
I think a lot of people are expecting either Bayonetta 3 or Metroid Prime 4 to be making an appearance this next year, and I don't think so.
You're right. Bayonetta has been developed for a while.
Bayonetta, they announced it and just went completely quiet. Oh, Halo Infinite, of course. We should have a conversation about Halo.
Yeah. Now, we kind of talked about this a little bit.
I keep bumping my mic.
Yeah, it's new mic.
Yeah, it's new mic stand.
Retractable stand.
So I'm
getting used to it.
I'm getting used to it. So I'm sorry if you keep hearing me knock it around.
Halo Infinite, I think it'll come out later on this year.
I think there's a good chance, but there's still that chance that they just push it until to the spring.
There's
era.
Still a chance. There's definitely one.
They've already taken the blunder of launching a new console without Halo. And Phil Spencer has made it very clear, hey, Halo is coming when it is ready.
Yeah. It seemed like the gameplay that we saw was pretty realized. It needed some polish that people complained about, just the graphics and the textures.
You and I both said on this podcast, hey, we really it spoke to us the way that gameplay works. And sure, it's not the prettiest game in the world, but does Halo need to be the prettiest game in the world?
I didn't care, to be quite honest. It looked fine to me.
So I don't know, man. I don't know what people want from Halo anymore. If they're making fun of it for being a graphical powerhouse,
I think it's just going to be. I think as long as it gets the polish that it needs, or that people want it to have,
it sounds like they're really taking it back to the drawing board with all of it, getting new development leads and getting new directors in, and
the directors were changing out a lot.
A full year delay. It sounds like they're really pulling it back and making a hard switch.
All those news stories we covered have made me. That's what's made me skeptical about it coming out this year, because the game director's changing and all that.
To which I just think, man, if you just delayed it a few months, and just really nailed down what you had and doubled down on what you had, everybody would have been happy. Because for the most part, all the Halo fan base was like, hey, sure, it looks a little rough, but that looks like Halo and what we want.
No one complained about the gameplay in the game. No,
it was just how it looked and how it functioned. Sure, like people who were disenfranchised with Halo and people who have never been Halo fans were all like, it just looks like Halo. Like there's nothing new here. But I've always felt like that's what we needed in Halo. But I do hope it comes, and I do hope it's great. But I could see it slipping into that early 2022 time frame, maybe even later, depending on how drastic these changes are that they're clearly making.
Yeah, we'll see the next gameplay reveal and decide for ourselves what it's going to be like.
I want to have a quick conversation about the. I think I'm the only one who's going to care. The Prince of Persia: Sands of Time remake.
Tavin, you are the only one that cares.
That remake, what they showed us did not look good. It's already been delayed. It was supposed to come out, I think, in February or something. It got delayed to March or some shit. Yeah, sure, delay it all you want. I don't care. Like, I can wait on that one. That one I can wait on, because...
Now, what if it looked amazing in the final product? Like, it looked
I mean,
gorgeous.
I would still be excited, but I just don't think... As much as people want Prince of Persia to return...
There's so many games that have that action-adventure...
It needs a full... It needs a God of War treatment, is what it needs.
Or a Ghost of Tsushima treatment of some kind.
No, I don't think it should be open world, because then it's just Assassin's Creed.
It already kind of has that feel, though.
Well, Assassin's Creed was supposed to be a Prince of Persia spin-off.
The Arabian theme.
Yeah, and then through development, it just became its own thing, and then it obviously shot off and became one of the biggest games ever.
Yeah, Devil May Cry.
And it's Assassin's Creed is the main reason we don't have Prince of Persia anymore.
Mm-hmm.
As much as I'm personally hungry for Prince of Persia, I'm hungry for it in the way that I'm hungry for a Splinter Cell game. In that, man, I would really like to have more of that experience, but what does it look like in this day and age? How do you have to change it to match the expectations of what a AAA game is today?
Mm-hmm.
Sure, the fan base is ravenous, but is the gaming industry, do they want that? So, I think for Prince of Persia, sure, Sands of Time remake, I guess, cool, but like the gameplay in the first game is kind of tough. Like it's or not tough, but it's like rough around the edges. It gets super repetitive. It's not the best. The story is charming and fun, and it breaks the fourth wall, and it's cartoony, and
you loved it back in the day.
I still love that. I still love that first game, but like that's not what is needed right now. I'm not chomping at the bit for a Prince of Persia remake. I'm chomping at the bit for Prince of Persia. This, left turn reimagining, like this is what, like a definitive. This is what Prince is now. And I just don't know if this is the right path that they're taking, and because they're taking this path, I just don't see it ever happening again.
Now, that being said, do you think since we were talking about whether a game is going to come out this year, do you not think it's going to come out this year? Or are you pretty confident it's going to come out? And not?
I don't think it's coming out in March.
But do you think it should be delayed past this year to make it better? To make it what
you
would want it to be?
What they showed was so not impressive, like at all. That needs to, especially in the era of like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro treatments, like if we were going to do that, it needed that. And this is like, oof, yeah, I guess it looks better, but like in the terms of like a PS3 game looks better than a PS2 game. Like this didn't even look like a PlayStation 4 game, and this is supposed to come out for next generation consoles. Like, oof, this game needs to be in the oven for a good another year, probably.
What are the possible chances that what they showed us was like even stuff that isn't even how it looks right now? Like that was even earlier production. Like I know it's kind of weird.
I guess
that was the case.
I don't know. Maybe
that's being hopeful.
But like, then why show it?
Yeah.
Why show it? Why not just announce it with a cool like little cinematic trailer or something? Mm-hmm. That's all we needed. And then instead you showed us like one of the iconic scenes from the game, and it didn't look good. Yeah. So, I don't know.
That's pretty much all my predictions, though.
Yeah, that's about it.
What's going to not
this industry likes to keep its secrets. This is a very secretive industry for some reason.
Keep your secrets.
Keep your secrets.
What is that from?
I forget. We wanted to talk about Crimson. Okay, sorry. What was that?
I realized it was from Lord of the Rings, and I had to hurt myself.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, that's Frodo. Look at that. Yeah. Look at that. Yeah, you should be ashamed. We did off mic have a conversation about Crimson Desert.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think that's really relevant to bring up right now.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. So we'll see on that one. Probably like it'll probably take longer than we expect for that game to come out.
Yeah,
but,
it may not come out this year.
It'll come out. It'll come out when it needs to come out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, Connor, I think that about does it for all of our predictions. Do we want to talk about what we've been playing this week?
I've been playing 3 new old games.
Oh wow, we are. Yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Let's shoot for the moon.
Today. Yeah, let's go for it. I mean, we're already going over our usual time.
We're already jumping in it. So let's shoot for the moon.
So 3 games that I've been playing. First,
new old games. So you've been playing
old games. The
games
games
new to you, but they're old.
Yes, well, relatively old.
In a year where your top 10 list is short, you just went back and played more old games.
Yes, I did because they were cheap and on sale on Steam, and I had a $50 gift card from Steam.
God,
so I could just buy things. So the first one, I have very little to say about it because I only played it for a little bit because I was not prepared for it in the slightest. It's a game called Killer 7. Now,
this game.
This game
is a classic.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm going to play it. It's an on-rail shooter, so it's kind of different in that way.
Yeah.
And then what I got was an on-rail shooter. You know, it's technically that's what it is, but you still have some semblance of control over your character.
Yeah.
You can turn around and run forward. And there's different pathways you can choose, but you can still do like retreating from enemies that are down the hall.
Yeah.
Which the enemies aren't just like random people with guns, but they're weird soul creatures.
Yes.
That you have to scan to see and then shoot them.
Oh, you jumped into this. You had no idea what you were getting.
And then the presentation of it is
you have no idea what you were getting.
No clue. Either
Now, I've never played Killer 7, but I know more about it than you obviously did.
Yeah. I just heard it was an amazing game.
Oh,
I'm jumping into it. And
bro.
it was weird. And I was like, I just got off the last game that I played and I'm not ready for this. Because it's so, like, this one guy
hilarious.
This one guy keeps popping up. This one guy, and he's a guy in a gimp suit who has his finger to his mouth and a hushing symbol.
Yes.
And has,
I cannot believe you had no idea what you were getting into.
No clue at all.
Hilarious.
No clue at all. And it was like, well, he's telling me that we're in a tight spot and saying things I don't understand. I did that earlier, dripping water on myself.
Spilled water all over myself.
Did the same thing. But man, I jumped into this game. It looks like it has a lot more on the surface, and I should have known it would be weird, considering it's a Suda 51 game, and he's known for making weird games. But the mechanics are weird. Like I said, you aim guns. You play as 7 different characters, which is the big thing that makes this game separate from others, which I thought was going to be the only weird thing in this game, which turned out to be far from the truth. And you're able to switch to them when you get to certain rooms at whim, and they seem to have differences in skills. I'm not even really educated on what differences those are, because it doesn't really explain it all that well. It just kind of jumps you into the world and makes you confused. But, I'm interested in the game, and I want to see what else I'm going to encounter when I play this game. But it's weird.
It's weird.
It's very weird.
I don't think there's a chance in hell you finish this game.
Oh, I think I will. It's enticed me. It's tickled my pickle.
What else have you been playing?
What? So the other thing that I've been playing, the other thing that I've been playing is something I saw you put on your wish list right after I bought it. I don't know if that has any coincidence whatsoever, but Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Did you?
Oh yeah, it popped up in my recommended for some reason, and I was like, oh, it's not on my wish list. I'll put it on there.
Oh really? It was complete because I bought it and then I saw you after I bought it said Tavin put this on his wish list.
Oh weird. Yeah.
Okay, very weird.
That's a game I played the demo 10 times. Great demo, and I never just played the full game.
This game is fucking fun.
Yeah, it is, baby. It looks fun.
That was the game I jumped on before Killer 7.
That's a tonal difference.
One of them is very serious, morbid, and the other one's like, I fought a woman and then I cut her into 1,000 pieces.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Dude, this game.
You cut the watermelons?
God, I didn't cut the watermelons.
There's so many watermelons.
Are there a lot of watermelons?
Oh, dude, there's a bunch of fucking watermelons.
I've noticed a lot of bodies.
They were really proud about being able to cut things into different amounts. I mean, which even today, it doesn't work nearly as well. It's not nearly as impressive, but
it's still cool. It's still awesome.
Just cut a bunch of shit up.
You run around. Enemies, the base enemies are pretty easy. I fought some geckos because obviously it's a Metal Gear game, so you're gonna fight things like that. You fight a Metal Gear in the first mission.
Okay, hold on, Mr. Casual Metal Gear fan. Geckos are not a fucking and things like geckos are not a staple of Metal Gear.
Recognize it, dude. People
recognize it because the 4th game was huge,
and then they had them in the background of Smash,
and then
of the Shadow Moses.
Well, yeah, sure, it's in the background and shit. But other than Metal Gear Solid 4 and Rising: Revengeance, you don't really fight big giant things. Like, that's just not a thing.
But in this one, you do a lot.
I'm sure you do, because it came out right after 4.
Yeah.
Like, you're forgetting the context.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
This is a spiritual successor to 4.
Man, running through that game, though, and just cutting things apart in a very, very fun combat system, because going back to Platinum Games, making great action games.
That's a Platinum game, right?
Yeah, it is a Platinum game.
Yeah, baby.
And this is my recommendation.
Before Bayonetta, I want to say?
It might have been.
Something like that? I don't remember.
This is a recommendation to you, because you did put it on your wish list. It's cheap right now. It's extremely fun. And as a Metal Gear fan, I don't think you'll get much out of it.
No, I don't think I will either.
Ooh, look, there's the gecko.
No, I think all I would expect is maybe some cool. What do they call him? Raiden.
Raiden,
right? Yeah, because it always threw me off because in Mortal Kombat they call him Raiden.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, and just having those two always confused me. But yeah, Raiden. I love Raiden.
Yeah, it's a very fun game. Go around slashing things. A lot of different combos you can pull
Remember
off.
the stealth just being shit in that game. Like, it's literally just a button press, like, not even worth doing.
Only if you're trying to conveniently take down enemies, there's no other reason to stealth.
But then, like, you're, like, ruining the reason as to why to play the game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, the boss fights in that game are the real amazing thing.
Of course.
I already fought in 3.
In the demo, you fight a dog.
I already have. I have
Yeah,
the
that dog. I think it's, like, one of the first bosses.
Dude, there's a moment in the 3rd mission.
Yeah?
You're gonna... I saw it, and I thought, well,
now, you're playing with a controller, yeah?
No.
What are you doing?
I couldn't get my PS4 controller to work.
What?
Yeah. Honestly, I'm going to go back. When I go back to it, I'm going to dive deeper into trying to get that to work.
You can just plug it in and it'll work that way.
Yeah, it wasn't working. That's what I tried to do.
Okay.
Yeah. So
it's also got a Bluetooth functionality. Do you know how to do that?
No.
Okay, I can show you.
Well, it's a fun
I'll show
game.
you after this, because it's the game I'm playing with a controller.
Okay. Well, this is my recommendation to you. Buy the game. No.
Okay.
Fun game. Yeah. Get it.
I don't have time right now, but
No.
and I'm playing 6 things, but like
Have it on the side. Like, I'm going to play Rise.
I'll get to it one day. I'll get to it one day.
Well, the 3rd and final game that I've played is a game that I played back in the day, and a couple months ago I got the itch to play it, and that's Max Payne 3. Now, I don't know if you played
Really?
Max Payne 3. Yeah, did you play the original Max Payne 3?
I did play Max Payne 3.
Yeah, and I loved it at the time. I absolutely loved it. I love the style, the noir.
Yeah, that's a game I'm not going back to because I would
style.
rather it just be what it is in my memory.
Well,
I feel like it's probably not the best anymore.
This holds up amazingly.
Oh, really?
It holds up very well. I was like,
it doesn't fall victim to that era of games with like just like the chest high cover walls and the stiffness of like the linearity of levels and shit. Like,
no, because the game is very fast paced. It moves from level to level very quick, and I remember it not being a long game.
I remember the intro to that game being very story heavy in the front, and then like in the middle to the end is when like all the craziness gameplay shit happens.
I thought so, and I was like, okay, we're first mission starting. We're gonna see some story stuff. And he's like, no, we're kidnapping plot.
Oh yeah,
right
the first mission pops off, but then like 2, 3, and 4 are all like slow drags.
Right off the bat, it's like instant like craziness, guns blazing everywhere. It's like, damn.
Oh yeah, you really hit Killer 7 at the worst time if you're playing Max Payne 3 and Rising Revengeance.
That was in the middle though, Killer 7. So thankfully I didn't play both those before Killer 7.
Yeah.
I was like, oh thank God.
Yeah. You would not have been in the mood.
But it's holding up really well. I'm going to say something kind of controversial.
Oh boy.
I don't really like GTA all that much.
That is controversial.
Don't like it. Yeah, I've never...
It's a bad take.
It's not a bad take.
It is a bad take.
It's a great take, because I just played it and it's like...
a great take.
It's a great take. Yeah, I'm going to get shit for it, but it's a great take. I'm saying it's a good take. Because GTA just plays so boringly to me. Like, it's got all the flash with you being able to do crazy stuff in that game.
GTA falls short because Rockstar hasn't fucking advanced their game-making talents since the early PS3 era.
But even back in the day... Well, people seem to have fun with it regardless.
Well, yeah, because it's a sandbox that you can fuck around in and do whatever you want.
And that doesn't appeal to me at all.
And the games of service idea started with GTA 5, to me, at least.
Mm-hmm. There was a time when I would have loved a game like GTA, doing whatever I want, but I've gone past that now. And Max Payne, as a Rockstar game, Max Payne's kind of overtaking it right now. And
I think the more linear direction thing.
Yes, faster paced. It's not dragging on like GTA 5 was to me with the story mode. But honestly, part of me is also liking it more. I'm having more of a fun time playing this than Red Dead 2. It's been a long time since I played Red Dead 1.
I just wouldn't call Red Dead 2 fun.
That's the big problem.
It's not a fun game. It's a great game, but it's not a fun game.
That's why I'm playing this. I'm like, man, this is a great game, and it's very fun and very fast paced. But I've been
Bullet Time Man is always good.
Yeah, it's great. Great.
Okay. Well, I've only been playing one game this week, Connor.
Yes, I saw you
and
playing
it is at least a game from this fucking year, Connor. Get your shit together.
Well, technically, if I play 3 games that came out years ago, and you're playing 1 game from this year, I'm more efficient than you.
Well, I haven't played as much as I would like, because I've fallen into the Apex hole, and I'm just addicted to it right now. I'm gonna play more tonight, more Apex tonight. But
no, I won't tonight or tomorrow, but I'll jump back into it with you.
You'll join me eventually. So Connor, remember when? Did we talk about you playing Hades on this podcast? Did we talk about it last week? I think we talked about it last week, didn't we? No, we did talk about it last week.
A little bit.
No, we went deep. We talked about favorite weapons and stuff. So, anyways, so Connor, remember months ago when I said, "Hey, man, this game is great, Hades. You should play it." And then it took you months to play it, and it's instantly one of your favorite games of the year. Mm-hmm. Connor, this next game, you need to fucking play it. I'm playing Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Yeah.
And holy fuck, this game is cool. It's cool, dude.
I know. I've wanted to play it for
I'm only
a while
about
now.
5 hours in. Not nearly as far as I wanted to be, and I'm going to need to dive way deeper this next week so that I can accurately judge it, because next week is going to be our top 10 games of the year. Dude, somehow they've made a turn-based Japanese RPG, but still had the flair and the excitement and just the fucking absurdity of a Yakuza game. Mm-hmm. Like, they are just balls to the wall. Like, yeah, you're still picking up a bike and hitting a dude with a gun in the face, and yeah, that somehow wins. Like, you win, with a bike, and it's just like, what the fuck? This game is great. And you're just fighting dudes constantly. Oh, dude, and just because this is their first RPG that they've made, and it's a hard left turn from a normal Yakuza game, and somehow they have nailed it. It's pretty. It does nothing new and exciting. It's pretty by the numbers in terms of what it's doing. You're equipping weapons, you're doing your attacks, you're doing your special moves, you got MP, you got, your HP. It's all just your generic turn-based RPG shit. The reason I think this one has a character and a lane for itself is instead of doing like the normal JRPG thing or turn-based action thing where all the characters line up, or you Persona style, all of your fighters are circled around the baddies, or if you get caught in the wrong thing, all the baddies are circled around your characters. They have it to where all of the enemies and all of your allies and your party members are just kind of mixed together. So it's like a street fight.
Yeah.
But it's still with the turn-based RPG style. So like, one of your party members might be in the middle of like 3 dudes. And the guy you're in control of right now is on the outskirts, and he's got to get like, and you're like, oh fuck, I got to help that guy because he's gonna get fucking pounded by those 3 dudes. So you go and you run to jump into that fight, and just that kind of like flair of it,
chaos.
It's all like kind of aesthetic, but it adds enough chaos and enough. It brings in enough of that Yakuza style in terms of like, because those are fighting games. They're fighting action games, kind of like kind of like your like. I struggle to compare it to like Bayonetta. Like I wouldn't, because it's not like throwing people into the air, but it's like switching. Closer, but still wrong.
Okay, it's its own thing.
It's its own thing, really. And it's just it's just so cool, dude. It's just so cool and fun. And what's also neat, to me at least, and why I think this is clicking for me, whereas other Yakuza games haven't clicked, is for a starting point, for someone who isn't familiar and being able to jump in. This game has English voice acting, which is a first for the franchise, and it's not the best, but it's way better than I expected it to be.
Mm-hmm. People say it was great. It was good. It was really good.
It's good. It's just, which is crazy, because I totally, like, they were like, oh yeah, we're doing English voice acting in this one. I was like, okay, like, that's gonna be terrible. I'm gonna hear that and I'm gonna be like, alright, switch back to the Japanese so that my ears aren't bleeding. But like, this game is so good that I'm like, fuck, dude, do I want to go, like, after I beat this, do I need to, like, go back and play Yakuza 0 and then play the remake things that they've been doing?
That are gonna be English voice acting?
No. Those are all Japanese. Those are all Japanese. But, like, I think this is the starting point, I think, for people to understand what's great about Yakuza and to like jump in and figure it out. Even though it's completely different from every other Yakuza game, it's still got like the style and the flair and the character of Yakuza, to where you're like, okay, I get what these games are and I want to explore the rest of them. I'm still early. I've only like just gotten my first party member, aside from the main character. But like the story is already taking twists and turns where I'm like, dude, I want to know what's happening. What's going on? This is crazy. I can't wait to get to like a karaoke scene or something like crazy. It's pretty linear. I've got some other complaints. The budget isn't obviously pretty low, but it's always low for Yakuza games. And it's like you're seeing characters pop in and stuff, like fade in and stuff, and like they do that thing where it's like, sure, but it's not that bad. It's not like a glitchy way. It's like that's just all they could get to do or all they cared to do. But yeah, dude, Connor, you need to play this game because you out of the two of us, you are the bigger JRPG fan.
Yeah.
And I just think the things they do here that are unique to Yakuza, will be not like, it won't like reinvigorate you for JRPGs, but it'll be kind of a breath of fresh air for you.
Because JRPGs have gone away from those ATB conflicts, where you stand in one place and do those SP and all that stuff.
They're turn-based like stuff. So like, it's just, dude, and like you can even like pull off combos with turn-based combat. Like, what the fuck? Because like if you attack an enemy and they fall down and then it switches to your other character, if you quickly mash through your attack options and select the right guy, the guy who's knocked down, before he gets up, if you can get your other party member to go and attack him again, it does bonus damage and stun damage and shit. Like, it does all these cool things. And like, these are just like the beginning things. I'm already seeing stats for like fire damage and ice damage and like all these elemental shits. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on in this game? Like, what is happening here?
You see, here's my issue with that game.
Yeah?
I want to play the other Yakuza games first.
You don't need to.
Do I not need to?
No.
I feel like I should.
No, it's a complete spin-off thing. As far as I know, it doesn't have anything to do with the other characters.
I saw one of the other one of the big main character of the Yakuza games in this game.
Here's what I'll say. Yakuza 0 is the prequel game after all of the like 1 through 6. I tried with that and I found it a little tough to get in. I think this game presents Yakuza in a way that makes sense for new players. And it introduces you to the world in a way that makes sense for new players. Mm-hmm. From there, then go into 0 and play all the way up.
I might do that then.
Yeah, because especially like, I also think the gameplay of a JRPG will entice you more, and you'll be more motivated to finish it, rather than the character action of more traditional Yakuza games. So, start here, move into it from there.
Might be something I have to do.
No, you have to do it. Like, I'm not playing. You need to play it. You would fucking adore it.
I've seen one of the things that I've seen is some of these summons that you can do.
I haven't gotten anywhere near there yet.
I've seen clips and they look so fucking fun. And the way that enemies join in the fight, do they just kind of pop out like corners?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah.
I saw one that like stood up out of a trash can and like would jump around and like circle around like, yeah, what's going on?
Yeah. So it's a lot. Oh god, it's so cool. And even like the cutscenes, it's so anime. Like,
I know.
Like the first like real boss fight, like after you do a certain amount of damage, it then goes into a cutscene of like them fighting, and your main character runs at him, jumps, and tries to kick him. He dodges, so your guy hits the wall, bounces off the wall, and throws another kick at the guy. And it's like, what the fuck? That's so not human, but it's so cool.
Right.
Yeah, it's just style. That's always what Yakuza has been, but like,
it's their selling point, yeah.
Oh fuck, dude! Like, I've never been so excited to go back and play Yakuza 0 again. So, absolutely, you need to play that. Connor, that is episode 23.
Long episode.
It was a long one. Oh god, yeah, we've broken 2 hours.
Goodbye, guys. No, yeah.
So, to do the normal outro here, you can find us Mondays, 8 a.m., Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube. So do the subscribes, the follows, the likes, the comments, the rate us on it. I think Spotify has a rating system. Rate us there, get us, popping.
I don't care if you think our podcast is trash. Rate it 5.
Rate it 5.
Rate it 5. Is.
If you don't want a 5, you don't need to do that. Just ignore us.
Yeah.
Just ignore us. But give us the 5s, give us the likes, help us out. Until next week, Connor, say bye to the people.
Bye.